Happy 4th of July Freedom Day, everybody. Welcome to the Stretch Run. I'm Chris Walsh. I'm joined by Justin Sampson and Michael Oldham, the Oldie Capper. We will have Racing Rachel with us here in just a few minutes to talk about the Indiana Derby Day, which is tomorrow. We've got live racing for you today from Monmouth Park. We did have it from Horseshoe, Indianapolis. Unfortunately, a giant storm came in and rained on our parade there. But we will pick up some live racing from Los Al and Woodbine later in the day. We'll be with you for the entire Belmont and Aqueduct card that Justin and I cannot bet on at all because they have stripped it from my TBG account.
Yeah, no, I think this happened a while ago, if I remember correctly. I haven't been in racing all that long, you know that, but I think it was a few years ago, and I remember this because I think at that point I was playing on TVG, but predominantly I play now elsewhere. But yeah, that is a bummer. Hopefully they figure out whatever they're trying to figure out so racing can be shown and people can watch it. But happy 4th of July. I always love this holiday, I would tell you, because predominantly you spend it with family, right? And I get to spend it with horse racing family, with all of you. I just drop my kids off with their mom and they will spend the holiday with their mom, which is cool. And then I'm actually going to spend some time with family later, but I'm going to hang out with you all for a lot of the day for the next few hours. Oldie, how we doing? We have Indiana Derby this weekend, right?
Yep.
You know, there's you played last weekend in Hawthorne, right? I would be curious for you to speak about that a little bit and just the experience.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely learned some stuff about, so each day I kind of learned something. The piece I learned on Sunday was that if you have a horse you like second best within a sequence, place it. Don't just go all out on one horse. Play it so that the second horse you like also takes your money. So if you're going to put 50% of your money all tied to the horse you love, then take another 20% to the, and it happened that the horse that my second favorite horse in the sequence was 10-1. If I would have played the huge favorite to that horse in a double and used 20% of my money there, I would have been in business and been in the running. So that's something I definitely learned about playing cash contests.
You know what I'll tell you on that, Oldie? I think it's really important. We talk a lot about tournaments and NHC, right? And how you play cash tournaments on these shows. And there's various shows. We do a lot of just betting, which is awesome here. And, we have some races coming up. But I will tell you, Oldie, when I was in Keeneland in the spring and was playing the tournament that was before that, it was $250. Jim Goodman put it on, and it was before the big tournament. I was playing and I went on America's Best Racing with Alexa, and I was playing, and before I left to go on there, I hit a 10-1 shot. It was the 7 horse. I don't remember who it was, but played into I Rat Ortiz on the turf on the speed. And if I would have split my entry with the favorite there, Oldie, the favorite in that next race, I would have won that tournament.
Yeah.
And so exactly. I share that with you because, and Alexa and I actually talked about this, you have to be careful about tossing a favorite in a tournament style if you have the money to do so protect yourself, right? So I agree with the learning lesson because it happened to me like 6 months ago. So
one thing I learned last weekend is that the early pick 5 at Aqueduct paid $12, right? Paid $12.
Yeah.
Matt Miller made 12 grand in that early sequence by just leveraging the favorites. Right?
He actually made way more than 12 grand. He made 12 grand on the first 2 races.
Okay.
And he won every race, I think, till race 7, playing rolling doubles. So, I was there for that. So it was very impressive, and that he didn't play those in the contest. He actually played that as real cash.
Yeah, he plays 2 separate ways, which is very smart, right? Yeah. Like I 100% agree with you guys. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, it looks like we've got Rachel. Let's bring her in. Hello, Rachel.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to the show. Sorry your day got ruined. but you can't control the weather, because if you did, we would send you to Saratoga.
Yeah, I can't say I'm all that bummed about it, because I will take a day off to get extra work done in the middle of Derby week. I'm not going to lie to you. However, I am super bummed because of the race we had set up with Pete and Gabe. They were going to race harness horses on the grass. It'd be super cool. But we'll reschedule that. I'm going to come up with something that we can do. Hey, thanks, Jeff.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll figure it out, but I'll take a rain day. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you got the big day tomorrow. We're excited about it. We'll be showing those races tomorrow.
Saturday. Tomorrow's Friday, but you're close.
I'm sitting here shaking my head.
We do have 2 handicaps tomorrow, though. But yeah, the big day Saturday, which is what Chris was talking about.
Is the weather going to be better,
the rest
Rachel?
of us will be working tomorrow, so we'll be back at it on Saturday.
Yes. To answer your question, Justin, the weather looks good for the next 2 days. It was just today that it sucks. So hopefully tomorrow. I mean, I've only seen it rain this much once here, and it was years and years ago, and the same thing happened. I mean, I should have taken a picture when I was in Eric's office, but the whole surface was just washed off to the inside. It was horrible. We got so much rain all at once, and whenever that happens, it's just so hard to come back from that. But tomorrow, we probably won't race on the grass. I'm not sure. He might. What he usually does, and I'm just guessing. I haven't talked to him yet. I'm gonna go get beers with him after this. But usually he'll cancel the other turf races and save it for the 2 handicaps we have, which are 5/8 on the grass, and we'll probably only run those on there. And he's got it out right now to 48, and Tony's been saving the inside. He'll move it to 0 for Saturday, so it'll dry out all day tomorrow. Hopefully, no more rain, and then it's supposed to be super nice Saturday.
It would have been great just to see him do a foot race on the grass in the rain. I mean,
okay, so look, hold on.
For that.
We had a backup plan for them to do a cupcake. Now I already ate one, and I'm taking these to my kids. But they were going to do a cupcake eating challenge.
Oh.
But that would have been totally in Pete's favor. So then Eric was like, Pete's not a big drinker, but obviously like Gabe and I are. So we were gonna have them come out. They would have to eat 6 cupcakes and chug a beer, because that would have evened it out. And then I was gonna come out as a surprise and be like a late entry, but I'm not going to give the opportunity to people on Twitter to screenshot me shoving cupcakes in my mouth wide open. And once I told Eric that, he was like, yeah, that would kind of piss me off. So we decided I was just going to chug a beer and then sit there and leisurely eat a cupcake.
Yeah.
But that guy got out. Yeah, that would have got a lot of definitely some eyes on it. But we're doing something else. And you know what? We're about to announce it right now. So I'm just going to tell you guys. They had these really cool blankets for their horses, right? That had like American flags on them. And I just gave that Jose Ortiz one away. And that was wildly popular. So we are going there. We're meeting them at the bar or at a restaurant here for drinks. And we're going to have them sign each of their blankets. So Gabe will have one signed by him. Pete will have one signed by him. Take a picture. And whoever raises the most money out of the 2 for their blanket wins the Battle of the Big Mouths.
Oh,
excellent,
I love it.
Excellent. Very, very, very well done.
And now my kids get a bunch of cupcakes, so it's a win-win.
Very
and
nice.
I still get to go chug a beer.
All right.
Yeah, what are you going to do
talk
tonight?
To you about some Indiana Derby Day racing. So who wants to lead off, Oldie or Justin?
Wait, before you guys do that, I heard you talking when I was backstage about Naira. I don't know if it's because of whatever state you're in, Chris, but I just got this message from Caesars Corporate that says, interesting news today, Naira ended its partnership with FanDuel Racing today. So we decided to shout out that people can wager on Naira races with our app. Naira actually tweeted about it. So we used that in our created. If you can engage and share this, I retweeted it. I don't know if you can wager on Caesars Racebook, but we have a racing app.
The only race book we can use in Florida is Hard Rock Bets. Anything else has to be through ADW stuff. I've been a longtime TVG user since like day 2. I have a 4-digit account number. That's how small it is.
Holy crap!
and I had Twin Spires before, but I canceled that because I needed to wean myself off of bet shares because that's just a giant money suck week.
Got addicted.
Yeah, money suck week. I could go get Naira bets or whatnot, but I'm just a creature of habit. And I'm
Okay,
fine.
I get it.
We'll see what happens with Saratoga, and I'll kind of go from there.
I just hope they figure it out. You know, we were talking about, I'm like, man, that's just such a bummer. I think because it's so state driven, right? I mean, there's states and it's someday the state that I live in, Rachel, needs to allow tournaments to be able to play for racing. I cannot play tournaments online. It's the dumbest thing, but yes.
But your state does have the grandmas racing at the end of the card at Emerald last Sunday.
Hey, that made Sports Center. Did you see that? Yeah, Emerald. I will tell you about Emerald Downs. And kudos, trainer that I used down there, she won yesterday. It is beautiful. Today it's like 80 degrees. They had fireworks last night, which they always do on July 3rd. You have the mountain in the background. It is a good. It's an awesome place for racing. It doesn't attract a lot of people, I would tell you, though. But
one thing about that mountain, Justin, that I read earlier this week is that mountain concerns geologists nationwide is the number one. So,
dude, I mean, so when I was born in 1980, Mount St. Helens blew up, and Mount Rainier is what you're talking about. And so, you know, you look at it, it's absolutely massive. I looked at it this morning because it's so beautiful. And we just had an earthquake here a little bit ago. That's the other thing. I've lived here, my whole life, and we have not had a major earthquake, but we did have one like 2 weeks ago. So.
Did you say 1980?
Yeah, that's when I was born.
Yeah, thanks for making me feel old. I'm the oldest guy in the screen.
I was born in 88, if it makes you feel any worse.
Yeah,
it does.
All right, we talking Indiana Derby, or are we gonna? I know Oldie. I looked at the couple races before it, Rachel. I don't know how much you have looked at.
I've barely looked at. I mean, I glanced at it once you told me you were going to talk about it. I've barely looked at 10. I looked a little bit at 11, and I've.
Let's go through all 3. Let's go through all 3, Rachel, if you're okay with that. And then we'll end in the Derby, and then we'll let you enjoy your 4th of July.
All right.
And we'll get to Monmouth. We'll get you guys Monmouth race 2 right at the bottom of the hour.
Well, yes, we should try to make sure, Rachel. I think that's a good race in Monmouth, and we can show Monmouth Park, Chris. So we should try to do that before Rachel goes too. So.
Yeah, I'll let you guys.
Oldie, do you want to share? Or you want me to?
I have it up if you.
Yeah, go for it.
Want to just add me, or I'll add here.
You got 7 minutes.
All right, 7 minutes. So, this race, which is a 68 SOR, I've done a lot of data study with the race sim, and one of the angles that within the race sim that is plus 40% is second in the race sim and top win. And the 5 here, who's 5-1 on the morning line, also has an E morning line angle. If you go back and look at the back races, even though the horse is fast, it has shown the ability to be tactical. So this was if we were doing the weekend preview show, which we, because of the holidays, we're not able to do today, the 5 horse would have been one of my picks there for you guys to decide on. I think coming off the layoff here for Thomas, gets flow and should sit a great trip. There's only one other kind of cheap speed horse here in the 2 who's also set, and should just be able to sit right off that horse and pounce.
What I looked at this race, and Oldie, I don't disagree with you on the 5. Rachel, based on your comments, it looks like the rails will be down. So, which a couple of thoughts. I think misread is very well bred, is the top SOR, Oldie, is the top Scotty pick, right? So I thought was for sure a player here in the 10th. I also, the 2's going to show speed as well, right? Would be my perspective with the 5. And so Join the Dance, is 18%. I think when I looked at the GSRs, I also I agree with you on the 5. I think the 9 also is a big player. I also thought that, from a long shot perspective, you have the 8 horse that is back to turf at one last out on the slop. It is Torres Joe Sharp, but did win last out in the 66 and now gets back to the turf with the GSR bump. Obviously love the slop. So, but, gets to 8.5 and ran well at Churchill in November. So for a long shot look, I would say the 8 for sure. I was on the 5-9 in a horizontal. I would have to spread here, and I would use the 2 as well as the 6. But it sounds like maybe you would go narrow if you were, from a horse to watch. So that'd be where I would go. But I don't disagree with you on the 5 and 9. Or on the 5. I think is a legit shot.
And if the turf's a little wet, maybe upgrade the 9. But the 9's a little. Is in my mind a little behind in class. I think the 3 is the other one that might be getting overlooked here for Maker at 8-1 if you're looking to add something with a price with the 5. But if you get closer to the morning line than the E morning line on the 5, you might get a decent price here on a horse that its data profile says it'll win 47% of the time right now. So
the 3 is definitely in form. I would agree with you. As a price, that's another good price horse. Rachel, any thoughts?
Yeah, the 3 and the 6 both had, the best form, most recent, highest speed figure. And that was a tough race. It's the mint julep for the 6, but the only I finally watched the race simulator for the first time after you asked me, Justin. And so it had 9.5. The only one that I think that you guys didn't talk about was the 10, which is first time Lasix for her. I text Ricky to ask him about her, but he said she just got there just like a couple hours ago, he said. So, and he hasn't taken a look at her yet. So hopefully Brad Cox's assistant can tell me what he thinks of her. But she was in a couple of tough races, and then this Miss Liberty wasn't really that tough, but horses came back to win next out. But the 10 is the only one I would mention. I might mix the 10 in with mine. I might do like 9, 5, 10 in that race. But I like Miss Red on top.
Yeah, and the 10 is first time Brad Cox, and he is 35% on that angle. And that this horse did win a grade 3 in Europe. You're absolutely right that this horse could be a player here.
I thought this was spread for me in a pick 3. For me, I'm not. I think you could spread it. I think that in Rachel, you talked about the 6, Brennan Walsh and Corey Lannery. I just briefly mentioned. It's a big drop here coming out of the mint julep and did run okay at a big price. So, and that was on a yielding turf course. So, if there is, I would, and I don't know the track there, Rachel, but based on your comments, I would assume that if there's somewhere off the turf tomorrow, it's going to have some amount of moisture in it even Saturday. But it sounds like it's going to be great weather, so maybe not. But
it probably will have a little bit, even if we don't. Even if it is fast, it's going to be the kind of fast that just took on a bunch of water. It did sprinkle a little bit yesterday too. So it rained momentarily. So it's definitely wasn't dry. Coming into this deluge. So yeah, we'll have to see. But that's a good point. It probably will be a little bit softer, and it's definitely a certain kind of horse that likes to run on a soft grass.
All right, Oldy, you want to go to the next?
Yeah, and I'll remind you also as we're moving to the next that Bruno feels that on wet turf you upgrade the early speed, the horses that are going to be ahead, because it's harder to close on wet turf. But that's how much you want to put into Bruno's opinion.
It also is hard to close on 2 turns on the grass, just as a rule. It's been playing that way as well. Especially when the rail's way out. We're moving it to 0, so that might be, not as big
that
of
it should help with the rail coming back to zero.
yeah,
Will help close
yeah.
those for
Didn't think
sure.
about that
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, race 11, the Indiana Oaks. For me, the question here is Impel, and you may know already, Rachel, is Impel coming or is
Yeah.
Impel going to Prairie Meadows? Coming, good.
Yep. I think
So
I posted an interview with Ricky about Impel today on Twitter. But yeah, she's gonna run in here.
So my thought was on Impel, if they believed Impel was a great horse, that Impel would be here, and if they wanted a paid workout that they were just going to get a payday, they would go to Prairie Meadows, because this is a tougher field, it's a bigger purse, and everything. I personally, Impel from a data profile tracks out very well. I thought Impel, this isn't rocket science on my part, was in the running in the Ashland and was right there, was in the running in the 8 Bells. This is far, far easier. There's
Look
no
at the
horse.
race, Oli. Look at the race sim, though.
Yeah.
And that, Rachel, if you didn't, this is why
I did.
this
Yeah.
tool is crazy. Like, I think for Oli, go back to the first call, right? This is how I like to use it for anybody watching. If you haven't tuned in, we talk about this at the coaching class a lot, but you're gonna have the pace ahead of Impel, right? And Oli, just kind of keep going. You can go to each call.
Yeah, and
right?
I'll tell you as well, I use the first 2 calls as a pace, like a pace projector.
Yes.
You guys got 3 minutes to Monmouth.
Yeah. Okay.
And then third call, and then
yes.
Impel pulls away in the stretch.
Yeah, I liked the 8 already before I saw the race sim, and now I like it even more. The only thing is this one, hasn't won at has actually off track it's not going to be off, I'm sure, but hasn't won at the distance. So that concerns me a little bit.
And let's say Impel, something happens. I mean, that's the way the race sim then looks.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Impel likely just is too classy for this group. I don't particularly like the McPeak horse, Band of Gold, that hasn't won since February 3rd. Maybe if it's sloppy, you upgrade this horse, but I just don't see this horse as the type of horse that finishes.
I'm not sure that's a graded stakes winner, Oldie, on Band of Gold. I would agree with you. Could be wrong. And I know Rachel, can we go to Monmouth Park live and then come back
to
talk to Derby before? Because I know Chris. I think the 8 is an underneath horse, Little Jamie. I know that if Impel does not win, though, Odie, to your point, I think any of these horses probably could win the race, would be my opinion. So
I would say chop up in class, but I think the 4, if that were to happen, the 4 is definitely a player as well.
I agree.
Really have to improve, right?
Yep.
I think that the 8 could improve. I think it'd be hard to win, but you're going to get a great price underneath either way. The 2 is the top GSR, and skyrockets to get for toss the turf race, right? But I guess it's going to be about the speed. I mean, could this horse wire the field would be my question, I guess, is the Scotty Longshot. But it seems like it might just sit up for Impelled to sit off the speed, in my opinion, would be how I looked at this race.
I don't particularly like the work since moving barns. So the last 2 works appear to be when the horse moved barns. And, that it concerns me the layoff and how long it took from 2 to 3 to get to the races. And it also concerns me that, I'd like to see better works on the Churchill training track from this horse.
Yeah. You get Frazier, right? He's such a beast. I just love him. We cover him a lot, Rachel, just because
I don't know very much about Frazier, but I do like the 2 a lot because of that grade 2 win at Santa Anita last year. Put up a 92, and Impel's best speed at the distance was 93. So they're really close in that regard. If she can run back to that effort, I think she's got a shot.
Yeah. Oldie, you want to jump to Monmouth Park real quick, and then we'll come back and talk to India. So, Oldie, would you single Impel?
I would, yes.
Yeah.
And I may, and I'm probably going to play a 5 into Impel straight double as well there.
Yeah, you get a good price, like even with the big favorite, so okay.
So Monmouth, it looks like the 3 King Hollywood's a solid favorite. No Salt is getting bet here, but I think Golden Wand really should be the second choice here. This horse is beaten 58s. This is 54s. And if I run the race sim real fast at Monmouth, and it's small field too, it really looks like it's the 3 and the 6, but the 2's the one getting bet. So the 6 may sit a trip here.
I will tell you, Oldie, the reason why I wanted to go to this race is because I wanted to bet No Salt. But I don't know. I mean, that would be my top pick. I hear it would be. I'll tell you. I mean, I think it's the top GSR. You get Paco. There is a lot of speed here. It comes off the layoff. This horse is working well, I would tell you, per the Bruno work report. But I also know, it's just running. It looks to be working well. It comes back to Volk, though, and Monmouth Park, and has predominantly been running one churn at Aqueduct the last 3 races. So, and, I think that it's just a big drop in class, to be honest. And if you go back, this horse won exactly almost a year ago on July 2nd at this same level at Monmouth Park. And that race was in a 58 strength of race. So that's how I fell on No Salt. I don't love the price, but that was my pick here.
All right, let's send it out to Matt Dinnerman.
We're ready to go.
They're ready to go.
And Lyra, good start for Golden Wand on the outside. No Salt in the way in the second spot. King of Hollywood between them, easing off the speed today. Golden Wand's in charge from No Salt, who takes the second spot. King of Hollywood likes to be close to the pace. He tips outside into the 3 path, but right now he's tracking the front runners around the clubhouse turn. It was the Devil's Idea in the 4th position, and the long shot Vikram is at the back of the field as they approach the backstretch run. Golden Wand's got company from No Salt, who punches forward on the inside. The pace is not fast, but it is contentious. And here comes King of Hollywood, 3 deep on the scene, putting more pressure on the top 2. There goes King of Hollywood and Jorge Gonzalez with an early move to challenge Golden Wand, who's wedged between horses. No Salt retreats to 3rd now as the other 2 go on with it. No Salt.
Jeff Alling taking a real trip. It's going to be very hard.
Up approaching the turn. No Salt.
A lot of rain too, and that horse is not going.
Now
yeah, no,
he did not get the message that he wasn't supposed to go for the lead there.
15 behind with Vikram.
That's like, Paco, what are you doing?
King of Hollywood.
I hate when they do that, when they burn it up early when they need to see that.
Let's see if he can come back. Watch.
They come to the top of the lane. King of Hollywood in the white blaze on the outside pushes past Golden Wand as he comes off the turn. No Salt attempts to re-rally. King of Hollywood shakes clear to a 2-length lead. Golden Wand switching outside, still second. No Salt is third with a 16 to go. King of Hollywood, it's going to be 3 wins in a row for the King on the Dirt and race.
There's just all the speed there. Nobody even had any chance of closing.
Golden Wand second. No Salt.
All right, Indiana Derby, Oldie.
Yes, let's talk Indiana Derby.
Who wants to go first?
You want to go first here, Justin? Or should we be ladies first here?
No, Rachel, Rachel, I'm happy to go first, but why don't Rachel, if you want to go?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, so well, I think it's Stronghold's race to lose. And then to be completely honest with you, underneath that, I literally could have circled excuses for almost all of these horses underneath. Do a 2-all, anything, and see what happens. But Stronghold, Frazier, you guys just talked about, Phil D'Amato has a little bit of a freshening, which he does well when he gives them, he's at 20% when he gives them a little bit of a break like that. Put in that bullet work as well coming into here. I mean, grade 1 winner at Santa Anita Derby. If you draw a line through the Kentucky Derby, he hasn't been worse than second ever, other than that last race. So, I mean, I think that one's kind of obvious. And then I watched the race sim and had the 8 in there as well. And I talked to Ricky about Dragoon Guard as well. And he said that he's really, really doing well, and they've been working him in company and to work up to this race. It's a big step up, but he thinks that he's definitely got a good shot. You never know with these horses. I mean, again, he's got amazing numbers. He put up a 95 in his maiden breaking effort, but he's never gone this long. So that's the other thing. But Brad always pulls out, and he's won the Indian Oaks and the Indian Derby. So, you know, you can't leave him out. As far as a long shot goes, honestly, I thought it was interesting that Woodcourt was a little bit, I think Scotty's pick long shot was Woodcourt, and some of his long shots on there really, really pay. And the more that I looked at this one, you know, has ran in really tough races, and this is, you know, it's a grade 3. I don't know if he can get stronghold, but definitely I think one to put in supers. But I do also, what's the other? Obviously, EJ won the Cup is pretty tough. Reelman Violin McPeak, I think if anyone can pull off an upset in a long shot, I think this one might, because has put up a 97 before. It wasn't only in the Illinois Derby, but still, and then the 3rd in the Texas Derby at the distance. He might be ready to go. He put in a good work. So, but yeah, I could go through here and make an excuse for a lot of these horses. They all look interesting. Sir Grayland's out though, so hide that horse. And yeah, those are the ones that are interesting me. But I haven't decided what order I'm going to put them in. But I do think it's 2, and then mix them all in after that, to be honest with you, because I think it's going to be one of those races where it's going to be a best of the rest situation, and any of them could have a good day. You know what I mean? Because there's so many horses that are, you know, taking steps up or moving down in class, and I think it's going to be a pretty interesting race after the 2.
Yeah, no, I agree with you in terms of it's pretty wide open. I personally don't think that it's as much a done deal for the 2 here. You know, I look at the 2 and I look back to that Santa Anita Derby, and you know, it was a weak race on paper, and I think it's come back weak. And you know, I think people are getting blinded by that grade 1 victory rather than the fact that it was a slow, weak race. And
that's what Jim Miller and I were talking about. The Santa Anita Derby was pretty weak, and the Cox horse has better numbers.
yeah, I mean the Cox horse, I think EJ won the Cup is very dangerous there. Beat Woodcourt, or not Woodcourt, I'm sorry, beat Reelman Violin in the Texas Derby. You know, I watched and saw the Illinois Derby run there where Reelman Violin was the favorite. I just don't think this horse is all that good either. But I don't particularly like the 5-2 price on EJ won the Cup. And I do think that the Cox horse, Dragoon Guard, could get an easy lead here. We're showing speed on the 4, but it's mostly cheap speed. And if it doesn't break first, what is it going to do? And it might be, it's shown in the past when it hasn't, that it just kind of gives up. So you could get an easy lead here, and the horse can rate a little bit too in his tactical. So I think that my top pick here would be the 8.
Nice.
You know, when I originally looked at this race, I thought that it was predominantly the 287 is when I first looked. So the only horse that I looked at the Scotty long shot, and I think it is a legit long shot. You know, it's coming off a layoff. I think, you know, maybe it didn't want synthetic. It didn't run last out at Hawthorne, the 1 horse. So if you go back to the Rebel, it ran okay in a 12-horse field at a price. I think, I don't know. The long shot, I would say to me, was Informed Patriot. because, broke its maiden at Churchill, ships to Oaklawn Park, which they obviously knew the horse had talent and ran really well in the Smarty Jones at 8.5 and was 44% to win. So, and then ends up trying to go to the Sunland Derby and doesn't run, and then drops in the Arkansas Derby, which was way tougher than this race. So if you want to talk about the Santa Anita Derby being really weak, Informed Patriot coming out of the Arkansas Derby comes back and still wins at Oaklawn Park, which is always tough, and then doesn't run in the Texas Derby. I would say, I did not watch that race. It sounds like, Oldie, you did. You have to scratch that race because it broke in the tempos and didn't break. This horse has to be closer to the lead. And I think Ricardo probably will be somewhat aggressive to try to sit a trip, Oldie. I think the 4 is cheap speed, but I think there will be there'll be some pace, right? So as my long shot, I would say Informed Patriot. I might even say to put this horse on top. I would tell you my original was really looking at Stronghold and not as much Dragoon Guard, but EJ won the Cup. But I think I've always thought that Stronghold might have talent, so I can see why the system really likes Stronghold. But I think Informed Patriot would be my long shot look. And if you maybe even top pick, Oldie and Rachel, I think that this race is fairly wide open with the win percents. And when you see 15%, if I'm a little bit it doesn't show up as a long shot would be my only concern, but from an algorithm standpoint, but it's 15%. So that's about what the long shot hits at, about 14%. So that's where I would go. That'd be my pick, Informed Patriot.
Yeah. Well, and a lot to back you up on that. Informed Patriot with that Arkansas Derby race had both Muth and the Derby winner in it.
Hey, there you go. I mean, it's why it shows up so strong.
You cut out for me. Yeah, the 5. Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that. I have that highlighted, too, that race.
Well, and if you go back, it was only a 5-horse field in a street sense, but it was a 68 and third time, and ran a well third, and then again ran third in the Smarty Jones at 8.5, right? So at 8.5 has run really well for the most part. It didn't win the Sunland Derby, right? So I have no idea what happened there. But I think this horse has talent, I guess, right? And could really improve. And that's, I think with the win percent, Oldie, that's where it's 15%, which is that's very high for a horse that you might get 15 to 21. Howard's talking about using in a try the 1, the 5 would be the horse too, that you could use in tries, as a price. So yeah. The Super Try might pay good. I'm kind of excited now to watch this race as I look at this. Like, you might be able to, in the vertical, might be a good bet.
It's a really good card, and they're big fields too. That was the other thing I was impressed with.
Oh, on the whole card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good.
I know. I always love the Indiana General Assembly, and the Michael G. Schaefer is one of my favorites as well. Or the John Schuster, and it's gonna be good. All the fields turned up really nice, I thought.
I think you guys have a bigger field size than Belmont and Aqueduct has on Saturday. They have a lot of 5 to 6 horse stakes races. I think they're trying to imitate Santa Anita a little bit there.
I love beating boys, so that makes me happy.
Excellent. All right. Well, we got to get back to some live racing. So thank you, Rachel, for taking time out and coming on with us. And we will we'll
enjoy the cupcakes
and watching.
Thanks, I will. I'm about to
Horseshoe Indiana on Saturday. On Saturday.
We're post noon. Saturday.
We're starting.
And we're racing regular 2:10 tomorrow, and then back to noon on Saturday.
Okay. Yeah, we're starting at 1:00 on Saturday. I know Oldie liked most of the cards, so we'll be there with Horseshoe Indiana through the Derby. So thanks for coming on. We'll see you soon.
Rachel.
Thanks, guys. It was great talking to you. Have a good day.
You too.
Happy 4th.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Happy 4th of July. It is the 4th. It's so great.
Yeah.
But the one thing I know that having her on is awesome because we kind of lost racing this morning. We can show Monmouth Park, right, Chris? But it was still good to talk Indy because our plan was to cover Indy today. So Willie wants to go to Delaware.
We got a request for Delaware. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to get to it. They're going off right now. They're loading right now. So let's take a pass on that. I think the next thing we have that we can't show. Ellis is off the turf today, and there's nobody in the grandstands since some lightning hit the grandstand and they had to repair it.
I bet the 7 at Delaware, Chris, for Willie. Our Ethan Charles would be my bet.
Okay. Again, not one that we can show, but they are getting ready to go right now. 5 furlongs. They're on the turf today.
They are on the turf. Top GSR, the 7. You're getting 9-1. There's an E morning line angle there too.
Yes. Yeah, Oldie. I'm all about this horse. Like I looked real quick and I was like, coming, their turf sprint's so tough, but I got sound.
All right. Super. I can actually see this one. It hasn't been banned yet.
Just give them time.
Yeah.
Honor the cross. About to move in. Ready. Away, and running. Great speed today from Honor the Cross and White Series. They break 1-2. Office Corruption's right there too, and To My Taste came away in that 4th place position. Now we have Fratellino teaming up with Beltane. Deep on the track is Pops Harbor in front of our Ethan Charles Ben's Hero, and touched up is last of all. So Office Corruption taking no prisoners today at the 3 furlong pole leads the way by 1. White Series is right there, glued to its every move in that 2nd place
position.
Them all, Justin.
Yeah, the 7.
Between rivals, it's
that
all
horse was not running.
And right there
It'd
is
probably run on, but
on the far outside. Heads turn.
Maybe not.
White Series leads by a nose. Office Corruption tries the
not going to be able to win from there.
Beltane, the split in the white cap of Fratellino.
Too far back.
Pole. White Series is tough as nails. Beltane has
jockey not even riding.
And Beltane has scored the winning run. White Taste was second. Show photo between.
I think that might have been a workout, Chris. I'm not sure what happened there, but
I think we might need to talk to Julio.
We need to go talk to Paco about the last race in Monmouth Park. I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah. All right. Coming, like I said, we got Ellis Park coming up in 7 minutes. You got Monmouth in 10. Where do you guys want to go?
You could go to Thistle. They actually have a 7-horse race.
Oldy wants to go to Thistle, Chris.
I'm just looking, or we could go to Ellis, which is, there's a 66% horse that appears to be only speed in Bear River. You're getting 5-2 though for Disarmo, which, the top pick was in the Woody Stevens, so it's most likely being overbet here at 3-5. The Disarmo horse, though, has run better on the turf, but does appear to have some wet GSR form here. So maybe you take a shot on the one and a double into the next to the 72% horse. I just can't, buy a break here to find a price.
That's very high, Oldie. They're not like that's.
Probably because of all the scratches.
But that's just that's a very high win percent. Like anything in the 70s is not very common.
Yeah, 7. You have a couple first-time starters here. The Walsh one's not working great. Well, I guess if you wanted to take a shot against, maybe this Brendan Walsh horse.
Who's that? What number is the big win percentage there? Is that the 7? Ellis in the next?
Yeah. Yeah, so Ellis race 6 is the 7, who's the long shot, first time
12
start.
is the favorite. Okay.
Yeah. And, there does look, the Cassie horse looks like it could run possibly too. So if you want to
You're
play
getting
against,
9-1 on that double, one on the 112 right now.
not bad. I just don't know. Do you trust this horse?
Well, it's a second time starter, so I usually don't. I don't have huge negative opinions over any second time starter.
You're just trusting the system,
That's
right?
Yeah, trust
Better
the
bet.
system. Play the 1 to the 12, or you could play the 1 to the 7 or the 1 to the 10, whatever you like here.
Yeah, you go and find out what the price is, and then bet accordingly. It doesn't always have to be the same amount.
Yeah, and so somebody mentioned a pick 5. I haven't looked that closely, but let's just throw like $60 out there.
5. I will be right back.
And let's say we cover let's run the race sim on this race. Looks pretty wide open. I would add the 4 here based on the race sim. To 13. 13 looks like like it should win here for Medina. Let's look at the 2 a little bit. So I'm going to also single the 13 there. And do something like that. I don't know that you need to all in the last, but I could see something like this hitting, and if you beat that 12, it potentially could pay. Any thoughts, Justin? Anything you like in the sequence?
I didn't look, Goldie. I was looking at Monmouth Park a little bit, but yeah, I will leave Ellis Park to you. Part of that too. I've tried to play Ellis Park in the past, and I never can win at that track, so I just don't really play it anymore. I occasionally play the turf or something, but I don't know. I've never really been successful there.
Yeah, I've played some of the turf races, and they're weird 1 mile races that start in the middle of the turn as well. But Ellis typically isn't a big track for me in terms of playing.
Let's go to Monmouth Park.
All right. I have a Monmouth window. I do have a Monmouth window. So race 3 at Monmouth. I like the 1 here.
That you're getting good price at 5-1. Go ahead, Oli.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought this horse is gonna get an easy trip here. I still think it will. The 8's getting bet pretty hard for Carlos David because it has Paco aboard. For me, the long shot's not that great. I could see the 7 potentially.
I thought the 7 would run good under. I like the 1 on top with you, Odi. I thought the 7 could run well. I might play just a 1 over a 7 exacta, maybe add in the 8 for second too. So 1 over 7, 8. On the 7, it's coming off the layoff, but Levine hit good off the layoff. It won a 52 last out. I think my main thing, I think the source needs to be up near the lead, Oldie, right? So
yeah,
it has run up near the lead and just has not run well. So it obviously has had, some amount of sporadic wins. So, it's why I really like the 1 even more, to be honest. I didn't really love anybody here, and I'm not really a huge fan of the 8 either. So I
They're
thought
going
that
into the gate.
yeah, so Howard's talking about Levine as well, has early speed. Yeah, I'm with you, Howard. I think for me it's 1 over the 7-8 in the exact.
Just about ready. And there they go in the 4th running of the Dade Park Dash. Bear River from the inside. Barksdale from the outside. In between runners, How's Your Attitude? Committee of 1 comes away running in the 4th spot. And the early trailer is Criso, a logo. Bear River has the lead. Barksdale turns up the pressure in 2nd. How's Your Attitude? Getting a beautiful tracking trip off the leaders from 3rd. A length and a half from the pace. Nearly 5 lengths to Committee of 1. 3 clear of Criso, a logo. Barksdale now has his head in front of Bear River. And How's Your Attitude continues to chase the top 2 from 3rd. Nearly 6 lengths to Committee of 1. Nothing yet from Criso, a logo. Bear River right back at Barksdale. Bear River inside of Barksdale. How's Your Attitudes right there in 3rd, and he's closing in gradually. And Committee of 1's trying to hit his best stride, getting within 4 lengths. Inside the final furlong in the Dade Park Dash. And Bear River has come away with the lead, putting away Barksdale. How's Your Attitude's been chasing a long time. Committee of 1 late on the scene, but it's Bear River and James Graham.
Didn't get my double in time
Bear
either.
River win.
All right, nice one, Oldie. That double closed at, or the double to the 12 closed at 8-1.
The problem is you forgot to bet it.
I didn't get it in time. I got locked out when I went to go bet it. It had just come out of the gate.
I bet it when you said it. So looks like Monmouth now. We're going to race 3. Howard's got a comment here. Weak field. He likes the 7.
Yeah, we just went through that. That's what I was just talking about.
Yep.
I talked about the 7. This horse, it's going to be closer to the pace because there's not a lot of speed, right? So but I like the 1 over the 8 and the 1 over the 7. But I boxed the 1 and 7. I played the 1 over the 7-8. Like, Oldie, you like the 1 too. We're getting a good price.
Yeah. No, definitely getting a good price. And I don't disagree on the 7 as well. You're getting a nice price at 6-1. I think the 8's being bet because of the connections there, but I just don't think the 8's all that good.
And while we've got Howard in the chat here, just a heads up, Howard will be my special guest tomorrow night on the Friday night Zoom coaching class. So Howard and I are going to talk handicapping, and we're going to go over the races on Saturday. And if you want to join us, it's limited to 20 people. It's completely interactive. You can come on video, you can talk, audio. Drop the link in the chat. Sign up there. There are 4 spots left.
Also, if we're talking about doing stuff with Howard, I will be Howard's guest on his show on Saturday morning for Picks and Ponies, covering the Stars and Stripes Day at Belmont and probably a few other things. So really looking forward to that. And then, I'll have an hour or 2 break and we'll be right on the stretch run. So,
Yep.
I think we have some exciting ideas that Howard and I were able to cook up. And as soon as we're able to get Scotty out of his new house and onto the Zoom to talk this stuff over, I think we'll have some stuff to announce as well.
Yes. Yes, Dave. Howard is a class, all class.
Yep.
We're happy to be working with those guys and doing some things back and forth. You should definitely subscribe to the HHH Racing podcast. Lots of good content there. I was on their boozing show the other night where they were doing recaps. Good stuff there for sure.
Betting there's a bunch of young kids. Howard's mentored these guys, and they've been in racing though.
People born in the 90s.
Dude, I know. When I met these guys and was hanging out in Keeneland, I'm like, my gosh, I feel old. So it's like,
yeah. Well, imagine how I feel.
No, it's awesome. They're talking. They go to Noah goes to UK and stuff. So I'm like, I think about that. I'm like, this would have been a great place to go to college and you just go to Keeneland all the time. It would have been amazing.
Absolutely.
For sure.
All right, let's get out to. Looks like we got a video stall
Anador,
here.
the orange jacket in two.
It did it on my end
Here's
too.
Creme
So you're fine.
Caramel.
3 to 1 on the 1.
Up her sleeve.
4
in the
to
pink
5
jacket.
on the 8 is just taking a ton of money.
You can they plant any more trees to block the gate?
Yeah.
Distorted view walking up to the gate.
They could also put like a shack
Busy
there,
Malign.
or
Red Wind to the outside post.
Hey, I know where you're going with this,
And Sammy
but
Camacho.
I think it was
Mile and a
yesterday
16th Met here.
was the 44th anniversary of
Ready to go.
Airplane being released. So,
And Lyruff. Uneventful beginning. Anador from the inside put into play. Busy Malign, the favorite, up close to. Red Wind is prominent outside coming out of the chute. Anador on a hold as a narrow lead. Red Wind, the gray on the outside pressing second. Busy Malign takes back to third. Upper sleeve in the 4th position next. Never So Lucky in the 5th position. And then comes Cindy's Song. Creme Caramel shuffled to the back. Distorted view on the outside of that rival going into the turn. A tightly clumped up field. And Anador is the pacemaker. Anador around the turn, just going nice and easy here. Anador on that hold still. 3/4 of a length ahead. Red Wind to the outside. Busy Malign on a hold in a pocket now. Up her sleeve, parked outside of her. Never So Lucky.
Jockey's just like the horse not even moving. You know, he's holding it big time.
Alongside of that rival now, and a gap of 2 to Creme
He
Caramel.
doesn't need to get past. What's he doing?
Never So Lucky.
He's old position.
Come up
Go.
third with up her sleeve. Red Wind
There
the
you
gray
go.
on the outside. Made a narrow move to the front, but Anador picked up the tempo as I say that, and Anador reclaims the lead. So it's Anador still in front, a narrow margin. It's about a neck. Red Wind to the outside right there, up her sleeve, 3 wide, sent along from that position. Busy Malign has run behind the leaders as a joint third once again and creeps in as they come around the 4-turn run and approach the top of the lane.
Come
Busy
on, Juan,
Malign
kick
catches
away.
the eye. The question is, can she get out of traffic? She does. Switches outside into the 3 path. Anador kicks to a length lead. Red Wind cannot keep up. Busy Malign on the outside, charging hard, and here comes Busy Malign and Paco Lopez sweeping to the front, drawing away in decisive fashion. Busy Malign.
Look, compared to that one, the one that's
Anador holds
tiny.
second. Cindy Song rallies for third. Red Wind 4th.
all right, disappointing with the 7 there. Let's get back to oldie screen. Canterbury just went off, so we're going to miss them. They are on a sloppy track as well. We've got 13 minutes to Delaware, guys. If you want to talk about some Saturday races, we could do that.
Well, let's talk about, I know we can't show it, but the group on my group ticket is alive to the early pick 5 at Aqueduct.
Okay.
And so we're alive to almost all here. We are 1, 2, 4, 6, 7 here. So all but the 8. So 2 would be nice.
Katie is riding the 2, Oldie, with pace.
Yep.
So, yep. I mean, we just played this a little bit ago. I mean, 7%, you're getting a great price at 11 to 1. You know, she's riding for Ray, which is, you know, in my opinion, is good to see. You know, second time starter, you know, she hopefully just sends here, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I'm not sure why the long shot is 1 to 2 here. It doesn't seem like it. And I just said this about the Paco horse and was wrong. So, you know, I could be wrong here, obviously, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me that this horse, who pretty much has shown that it needs to be on or near the lead, is sitting at 1 to 2. And, you know, I think the 6 has a big look here, has beat better last time out than this group, is 26%, your top pick. You know, so, and well, if the pace does go faster than it looks like on paper, I think that horse is dangerous. The 1 can rate a little bit. You know, Katie's horse, you know, won first time out, and, you know, they didn't push it up too far in class either.
Who's Dylan riding here? Is Dylan in the race? Because he's usually first call for
right. Yeah.
No, I think so. If we look here, Katie rode this horse first time
Yeah,
out.
she
So
rode.
it be her regular ride.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she gained keeper mount, which is awesome. So that horse has a great GSR. One is a 1% horse, so it doesn't happen often, but it finds a good spot here in starter optional claim with maybe not a lot of speed, right? Great GSR, sprinting at 8, stretches out, the GSR goes up.
And being protected, so you think maybe they think they might have something here.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Where, the 7 has IRAD, so that's probably one of the reasons it's getting bet that hard as well. And, the 1, it's Linda Rice. But, this horse took a long time to win something, and won it 2 turns. And best races appear to have been at 2 turns, and is going 1 here.
Coach Z, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button. Helps the channel out a ton.
We appreciate you spending your 4th of July with us. All right, so that would be my thought. And we also are going to a late pick 5 here, and I thought there were some interesting horses. So I'm just gonna Chris, put the money in the jar right there. I thought this race was more wide open than the 3-1. Here, I thought the long shot has a chance in race 6. Race 7. I'm just going to look at my notes real fast here.
Are there really 3-1 horses?
Yes.
How does that work?
So it's like 1A, but there's 3 horses that are, I guess, would be the same. No, it's not the same ownership. I don't know why there must be some portion of the ownership that's the same, because it's not,
it's
Katie, Trevor, and Dylan or something like that. But, so just looking through here, I have a angle in race 8 on the, let's see, it is race 8.
Justin, I'll have to rely on you for audio for Belmont.
Yeah, I have it. I got it.
I'm bad.
So the 4 horse in race 8, who is the top pick and wins the race sim, this angle, which is top race sim and top SOR and top E pick, is over when it does not match the top win percentage so far in the data I've collected. So I'm just going to throw that horse out completely here, potentially. And then I got to find a place to single.
How much time you got? 5 minutes?
5 minutes here.
Why is this 7 in the first race though? It is the long shot, but why is it taking so much money?
I don't know. Maybe people know something, but I just don't.
I thought the 6 horse, I was landing more on the 6 with Flavian Pratt for Rudy Rod here over the 7. So I mean, won the last 2 at 8 furlongs, once in the mud, once on a fast track. Could sit off the pace. I do think the 2 though, you're getting an amazing price with Katie at 6-1. Maybe even if she doesn't win the race, which at that price, I bet a win play show on her. But I think, maybe she even holds on in a vertical bet,
That's only the second time Irad's ridden for that trainer in the first. He's over 1.
That's kind of interesting too. Interesting.
It's just, he's taking so much money. I mean, 3-4 is just, but maybe this, maybe just the goods, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. And, you look at this Victory Ride Stakes, and this is a really tough race 8. I'm going to probably single the Brad Cox horse, but, Mystic Lake, the long shot, has a big look as well. as does
the one over the Cox horse for sure.
As does the 5 for Dutrow. You know, it's a little weak in terms of its class, but the you know, Mystic Lake might just get away here. There's really the other speed's the 4 here, and you know, the 4 I think is really an allowance horse.
Dutrow's been
in my
cold
mind.
too.
Yeah, so you know, it's either the Cox horse or the 1, and you know, we can take a shot here, and you know, I may not play the early pick 4. I may actually, or late pick 5. I may just play this as a pick 4.
Oldie, what were you saying about Helena's Forte in race 8 with the metrics?
The 4 horse, the metrics say, so that this angle, and I've collected about 270 races right now. When the EE top pick wins the race sim and is top SOR but isn't top win, that angle is 0 for 15 going into today.
Interesting. I like Helena's Forte in that race, so that's why it's I just thought the Bauer had a good one here, to be honest.
And the rest of those horses win at almost 50% of the time. So that kind of gives you the you know, the takeout, if you will. And if it continues, there are a couple today that came up to that angle, you know, and if that continues, you know, we'll keep tracking that and keep an eye on that for everybody. But you know,
so they're getting close.
Yeah, let's see how we do. I may go $48 and go the 1 and the 3. In
I like in the vertical here. The 267 is how I would box in exacta, but I like the 2 and 6 over Irad here, the 7. But obviously the 7 is taking a lot of money. I think we get a great price on Flavian Pratt on the 6. You know, I think in a run really well. So 267 for me, Oldie in race 5.
Are they getting close, Justin?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn the sound on. They're about to go. They're loading.
Amity Island goes in. All set. And they're off. Good speed from Graceful Rose is up for the early lead, and Call Her Bluff in between horses. Purple Cap Till There
Katie.
Now Till There Was You puts ahead in front. At the rail is going to be Just Music. They're tightly bunched. She
didn't break great, but they're probably not going very fast.
Look up with the backstretch to the inside Till There Was You.
And that horse can rate. It won.
I saw. Till There Was You is not going anywhere. Is going to hold that position towards the inside through a 23 and 3 opening quarter mile. 3 wide, just off of them is Graceful Rose. Is well settled, just stalking the 2 pace setters. At the rail moving forward is Just Music, who has been relegated to the back end of the field. Got passed by Cover the Spread. To the far outside, Amity Island still very tightly bunched as they approach. Less than a half mile to go. Till There Was You is the big long shot in between horses. There comes. Call Her Bluff is trying to challenge 3 wide. It's been a nice journey for the 4-5 favorite in Graceful Rose.
Come on, 2.
Use is 3 wide coming after the lead now. Amity Island.
Turn them away. Turn them away.
Is looking for a way through there with Manny Franco, and at the rail, ground saving journey for Just Music, just looking for a lane. Call Her Bluff is still there. It's Call Her Bluff who's trying to kick away now. Call Her Bluff.
Flavian.
Lengths on the rest of the group.
I'll take it. It's a nice.
For home.
I played the try with the 2 and 7 in second, but the 1's gonna get second. Just Music.
So it's gonna pay about a little over $1,300 to the 6. So
nice.
That's a
16, no doubt. Call Her Bluff.
And you know, I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound awful, but there were 2 kind of odds-on shug horses in that sequence that the data didn't like either. And you know, Shug just doesn't win those races as those heavy favorites, I feel like.
Rudy Rod gets it done there.
Yeah, we talked about that with Flavian Pratt. That was where the Iradors took way too much money, but much the best for the 6. 5-1. Just, I mean, EE Morning Line was like 5-2.
Yeah, no, and you look, this horse was in, if I go back here, this horse was in excellent form. It was the top pick.
Yeah.
It won the last 2 times out, going 1 turn at this course and distance. So, and had a nice GSR by Audible, and, seems to be on the improve, because went from, barely winning to winning easily there as well.
We got about a minute before they load up at Delaware. If you want to take a quick look there and see if there's anything you like. They are on the dirt course going 6 furlongs in this allowance optional claiming event.
All right, I'm just making a quick note here.
And then we got Ellis coming up to see if we can complete that double that apparently I'm the only one to bet.
So Delaware, you got a gold here. Gold badge on the 1. We need like a siren for the gold badge. A gold badge alert.
I've got a bunch of sounds, Oldie. I'm just leery on playing them and then getting emails from YouTube saying violated.
Siren, you're not going to have a issue with. We need a gold badge siren. I think this one's got a big look at 7-2. Here it's the top pick. It wins the race sim. Top GSR, top pace, not top SOR. So the 6 is top SOR, taking a big drop, but really hasn't run since beating 50s as a maiden. So, I like the 1 here. And let's see, do we have time to find a double, Chris?
Yeah, you got time. They're putzing around. Way to go, Mike. Nice pick.
Maybe to the 5 here. I'm sorry, not the 5, the 3. So the 3 is 10-1. I just see a lot of pace here. Let's see what the race sim says for the first 2 calls. And the race sim does not agree with the pace number here and thinks the 9 will get a pretty easy lead. But
thanks,
again,
Brad. Happy 4th to you too.
So if you toss the 4, who's the top pick here, the 9, let's see, 10 can't really rate, so let's toss the 10. So you could go 9-8. That horse needs to lead too. Let's look here. So the 6 is not terrible. It's not the worst long shot I've seen.
You probably got about a minute, Oldie. They're going in.
All right.
First course in.
How about a 1 over 9 over 3, 6, 8, 9 double? There.
It's kind of wide, but you're not.
Yeah, but look at the prices. We're not. Look at the prices on it.
No, not bad.
I will not get that in on time, I have a feeling, but I'm going to try.
3 more left to go in. Don't tell.
The 5's the favorite in this race. I was kind of surprised.
Pop over gal.
It looked like the 1-3-6 would win the race.
This is the final 1.
All right, just got it in. So a quick $5 double together.
All right. 9, 3, 8, 6.
Okay.
And who are you at in leg 1?
Oh, wait, yeah.
Didn't break.
To go with Dancing Diana. Good speed of the set.
The 1 here.
Follow today, linking up with Pop Over Gal, and there's the long shot Obstreperous to take over the leading role at no less than 8-1. There's quite a separation back to Spin the Breeze, who's tracking in 4th. Dancing Diana was the one who was slow to go. Don't Tell Kelly is last of all. So Obstreperous leads the charge. Past the 4 furlong peg with a 1.5 length lead, but
making up a lot of ground.
Right there, getting shoved up to stay with the speed and pop.
Yeah, might just sit the trip off the rail here. Yeah, look at that.
With a sweet rail skimming run. So now we have a new leader at the 5/16 pole, and it's Dancing Diana.
Oh, don't hang. Go buy that horse.
Obstreperous is trying to counter in 2nd, and Pop Over Gal is floated 3 wide. Spin the Breezes.
As you can see, when by not breaking,
they turn for home. and Pop Over Gal comes calling for the lead. Dancing Diana battling on. Obstreperous is starting to slowly give way. Late on the scene is Don't Tell
So hard to see from the camera angle who's actually
Pop
ahead.
Over Gal holding at 9
I think
and
it's the 5.
Dancing Diana chasing chasing in vain. Pop Over Gal has won it.
Moved
Dancing
probably
Diana
moved too
was
early
second.
too.
Third was desperately close.
Well, I think it's just the bad break made that so hard, Oldie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of bad breaks, Rosario off all his mounts at Aqueduct today. He could not make it back from the Dominican Republic. His flight was canceled. So look for all those horses to break a little better.
Why was he in the Dominican Republic?
He had to go visit a ill, sick family member.
Oh, sorry to hear that. That's a
that's a shame. All right, so I'm gonna just look at what my. So probably a little more than I would want to spend on an Ellis pick 4 here.
Got 3 minutes to Ellis.
You got Monmouth Park in 5, Chris. So let's not miss that. There's so they just remember that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go back to back. So if you wanna get to Monmouth Handicapping, that is super good. And
well, it's an interesting maiden special. It's a state bred, so it's a good little sprint. It's a very good race. There's good prices if you can, the 4 is taking a lot of money, but so.
All right. The coaching class for Friday night with Howard is completely sold out. So thanks, folks. We're also got another one coming up in August. I'm not going to give you the date yet, but it will be a barn burner. We'll have 2 Breeders' Cup betting champions on a Friday night to go over handicapping. So look for that in August.
I mentioned this to Howard the other day. We have to get a show with Matt and David Harrison.
Yes, we do, for sure.
That would be an entertaining show.
Yes. That will happen. It'll be on a good day. Hopefully, Naira's back with everybody. I like how they put the squeeze on them right before Saratoga too.
Oh, absolutely. But it may be also that's when the contract ran out, though.
Well, it is. But if I was the other folks, I would my contract with you is going to run out October.
Just 1 minute until post time. The 2-year-old fillies are approaching the starting gate.
All right.
So I'm just playing this little $24 pick 4. I almost called it a pick 6. I don't know why I called it a pick 6, but.
All right. Well, we're going to be rolling right over to Monmouth. They're going to go off in 3 minutes. So if you got any quick thoughts there, because we'll probably wrap this one up and then head right over there. As usual, the tracks are making everything difficult for me today.
Yeah, definitely making it difficult for you. Monmouth, race 4. The 2 horse ticks a lot of boxes there.
You're getting 5 to 1, and I'm not sure why, Oldie. It's you have the first time starter in the 9 too at 12 to 1 showing up. The 4 is taking a lot of money.
It's post time for the 2-year-old fillies.
4 low GSR though.
Yes.
Trainer's never had hasn't had a first time starter win this year. I mean, I'd be more on the 5 than I am the 4. If I was using something with the 2. And just looking, Lynch has 2 horses here, so and you're getting 14 to 1 on the second one, and it's got an EU morning line angle. So maybe you play 2 with 5-8 here, or a 2-5-8 box.
They are getting ready to roll at Ellis. As soon as they go, I'll put the sound up. Looks like they're going to go
the
right
favorite,
out.
Mrs. Worldwide to the outside. Late pick 4 time.
All right. So.
And there they go. Volatile Market was uneager to load, but she was eager to leave the starting gate, and she has the lead. But here's the favorite, Mrs. Worldwide, on the attack with St. Travels. Dawn After Dawn strides into the 4th spot. We're going to Rita's Legacy. Bred to Run from the far outside. Tony Marie covering Quinn's Promise. And the early trailer is Cat Pays the Toll. So with the lead, it's Volatile Market and Safe Travels. Mrs. Worldwide stalking them in the clear from third. And Dawn After Dawn has a little less than 4 lengths to find at the 3/8. And it's about 6 lengths to Cat Pays the Toll covering Bred to Run. Towards the tail of the field, races Tony Marie along with Quinn's Promise. And at the tail there,
looks like you got this double.
Quinn's Promise is Rita's Legacy. In the meantime, Mrs. Worldwide with this big move, and she's the one to beat off the turn. And it's the 2-year-old filly with racing experience who has the lead. Volatile Market's running a nice one on debut, still staying on from the inside, but Mrs. Worldwide's going a little better.
You got it. You're good.
A long ways back to the right. Bred to Run, Quinn's Promise, Dawn After Dawn, Cat Pays the Toll, Mrs. Worldwide, and it's another one for.
Boom.
Nice straight double for you there.
Yes, 8-1. I mean, you look at what did the horse before that pay, right? At Ellis. So you have a 4 to 5 shot and a $6.14 horse, and somehow that pays $8, 8-1.
Yeah,
I will take that all day long. All right, let's get out to Monmouth.
All right, Monmouth. Like I said, maybe a 2-5-8 box here.
1 minute to post. The runners are approaching the starting gate.
I'm gonna single the 2 and a pick 3, Chris and Oldie, and then I'm spreading bad. The next race, I thought it was really tough. The race 5, so I'm using all but the 3 and 7. So 1, 2, and then 4, 5, 6, and I think the 8 is a crazy long shot at 0 for 15. I think that race is very wide open, so I could be wrong, but. And then 1, 2, 3, 9 in the third. I'll drop it in the chat. There's a big win percent on the 2 horse. You're getting just a great price at 4-1. I think looks to be controlling speed. I would say on the Mountain Dirt. That was how I got to the 2 here in race 4. It's $12, for 50 cents.
Yeah. Yeah, I really. On paper, I really like the 5 here in the second leg of your pick 3 in race 5. But, the 4 could get the lead and just go on too.
Yeah, I could see that. I think that the 8 getting back to turf, and if it melts or something, the A horse, if you look at the A horse, the one time it ran 5 on the turf, it ran really well. And it finally gets back to it, so it wouldn't surprise
Smuggler's
me
Gold
if they stop
his
that.
spot. Jersey bred 2-year-olds here, sprinting.
I think the rail is out, so
post 6, 2 back.
I'm not sure how much you'll see closing on the turf there, but I like the here though too.
To the outside
the 2 horse on top is a great bet on the win bet.
Waiting for doing this.
Thanks, Brad. And I didn't even have to handicap it. These guys did it for me.
That's the Matt way of doing things. I just didn't get it in on time because we had to talk about another race in between.
St. Erling from the inside away alertly has speed with JJ Zozo, who takes the second spot. Haller's, I say that, moves up to come in pressure. St. Erling on the front end. St. Erling a neck in front. Haller continues to move up. Haller with a head lead now. St. Erling on the inside retreats to second, takes back as Haller clears off into the far turn. St. Erling had to tap on the brakes and lost a couple spots there, joined by doing this on the outside and JJ Zozo.
I think my day might be lost so
St.
far.
Erling has retreated to the back of the pack, trying to re-rally, passed by Smuggler's Gold, and St. Erling all the way
Come on,
back
5,
as
don't
they
stop.
come to the top of the
No
lane.
stopping,
And 11-1
guys.
shot. Howler and Nick Juarez opening up, increasing the leading margin to 4 as he comes down the lane. Smuggler's Gold putting in a late rally. JJ Zozo could not keep up. Approaching the 16th pole, it's Howler, the filly by Irish War Cry on top by 2.5. And no dangers are in sight. Howler, nice effort on debut. Smuggler's Gold was second, third.
11-1.
Photo for fourth.
Remember, I said
And St.
I said
Erling.
258 exactly, 258 box there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice. First time starter, but the big morning line, you could see the angle there, you know, and the 2, you decided to let the 8 get the lead and go wire to wire, and the 2 was supposed to do that, Oldie, but
well, the 2 got the lead.
No, the 2 never got the lead. The 8 was out there and just dominated. Nick Juarez just showed whoever Vincent Chaminade what was about to happen.
8 Howler.
Yeah, he's like not working. 8 to 5 on your exacta there, Oldie, there at Monmouth. That has to be
fourth. Please continue to stand by.
that has
The
to be
results are
paying
declared
fairly
official.
well.
Of
I
course,
mean,
the photo finish result for fourth has been posted.
I mean, you look at the works on the 8, and it looks like this horse can run. You know, it had that 2 of 26 gate work and a 3 of 13 gate work, and you know, the 5 looks like it was working with that. They were working together in company.
47 to 1 on that exacta, Oldie.
And the trainer's 34% with first time starters.
Only 47 to 1.
Ooh, should be more.
All right. Well, we're never going to get to Canterbury because they're running exactly at the same time as Monmouth. So, and they're in the slop, so we'll just kind of put them away. Where are we at, guys, with our friends in New York?
You look live. New York, we are going to start spreading the news soon. 10 minutes from race 6 here. I'm going to put my pick 4 together. I'm probably not using enough horses in the last and using too many in other legs. I think you have to have the 5 here, who's the second choice, and lightly raced. Let's see. And I think you'd add the 2 as well for Linda and her Rice. You're not going to let Linda beat you. If you make it there, that's going to make this too expensive.
She will beat you with envelopes.
I'm going to drop the 7 off there because that was not a horse that was amongst the ones that I liked in there. $60.
$60 late pick 4 at the Big A.
It's either that or you single the 1-1X 1A combo. You know,
Why do we really have to have 3 coupled entries? I mean, is that really?
Well, you also have a couple. You actually have 5 coupled horses in that race because the 2 horse is also coupled with the 2B. And you know, if they really wanted to make Chris happy here, they would also have a horse running for purse money only in that race.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be great. Let's just randomly have the 8 run for purse money only, or whoever the speed is, whoever is top pace, just randomly have that one be run for purse money only.
That's another great show name, though. We should have a purse money only show. It's the 4th. I'm in a wacky mood, guys. You know, I'm at end of show Oldie already, instead of, you know, a couple hours in or an hour in Oldie here.
Yeah, we're an hour and a half in. About an hour and a half left, a little bit more than that. Hopefully you guys have cashed a few. There was a good Oldie exacta in the first, that he raced at Monmouth, and then the double at Ellis, which is just perfect. I mean, when you get 8 to 1 on a pick 5 and you can get 8 to 1 on a double, you've got to win 3 less races to get there.
Yep. And then it would have been nice if you could have gotten that 12 one that we originally, when we were looking at it, happened too. But I'll take 8 to 1 there for you. Mm-hmm. Justin, any thoughts on the late pick 4 at Belmont? Anything you like here?
I'm not. I didn't even look at Belmont. Yeah.
And then you got 10 minutes to Delaware. You got an 8.5 furlong turf race there, so not too shabby either.
8.5 furlongs, okay. and I believe that's not in a shoot, unlike at Monmouth. But when Woodbine starts, Woodbine is treating this like every other Thursday card, where it's kind of a twilight card.
Yeah.
There, and there were some. I'm not going to say it's the highest quality racing, but there were some favorites that I think could be beat there, and there were some double opportunities at Woodbine too. So I'm looking forward to that starting as well.
Yeah, they come online here at 3:50, and we also pick up Los Al race 1 in 28 minutes.
And since we have a break here in the action, let's remember to hit the like and hit the subscribe button, and as well, don't forget to tune in on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, when we will be doing the full stretch run that will end after the Indiana Derby.
Yep.
And we will have all the Indiana Derby action live and in color.
And no rain. We were promised no rain by Rachel as well.
Yes.
So we're going to hold her to that.
If it rains, I think she should have to shove a cupcake in her mouth so people can put that on Twitter.
Cupcake eating contest would have been awesome. Epic.
So would putting jockeys on the grandmas. And,
yeah. That Emerald race with the grandparents, man, several of them took a header.
We were watching that in the room during the Invitational. It was quite entertaining.
All right, Oldie, you want to take a look at the Delaware race here before we get into Aqueduct, and Justin can bring the sound up?
Sure. So Delaware, are we on race 7 at Delaware here? Hold on.
Yeah. Yes, race 7. Get a late double that you can get into.
Yeah, this was a race I didn't like the favorites. I thought the 3, 6, 8, and 9 had big looks at Delaware.
Chirp racing, Justin.
Yeah, I know. I'll jump over here. I didn't look at it yet, but I will. This is race 7.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, and race 8, I like Hughes Robertson probably here. It's 1, 2, 3. Victor Barbosa as well. You probably could play a double to any one of these horses. But let's see, what are we? Do we have time to look at the? Oh, go ahead, Justin. While I'm looking up the probables.
Oh no, I don't have I haven't even looked at this. I'm just looking at it right now.
So you're getting a pretty decent price to the 3 on the 3, 6, 8, and 9 here. The worst is 14-1. So, if you want to take a shot on the Barbosa horse, which I think is going to be the favorite, as a double, that's kind of the way I'm leaning. We actually have more time to Delaware than it looked like here too, Justin, if you want to go through race 7 at Delaware a little bit.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't cut the 10. You cut the 10. Are you? I'm happy. You want me to talk through it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or I don't hear. It's gonna be easy or oldie for me to share. So hold on. If you want me to talk through it, I'll just share.
Yeah, go for it.
I think so that the 9 horse is, up on the pace, and the win percents are up on the pace. The race sim shows, at the first call, the 10 and 9 are just much faster. And then you have all this closing speed here. Really low win percents on the closers though. So that'd be my first observation. mean, the 9 gets the lead. I think the 10's going to show speed, though, from an outside post, slides into the 8 post. This horse is adding blinkers. So, and I don't know these jockeys, but Julio Hernandez hits at 27% for Stidham. So shows up Orange Juice as the second pick in the race sim. So rail out, or rail, there is no rail. So, I think, Oldie, it's going to have to be, for me, it's like, okay, are these horses really going to close between the 3, 8, or the 3, 6, and 8? So, the 9 has not been winning, but has run on the lead and gives it up in a 46, and then didn't get the lead in any of these races. Was on the lead here in the 44. So, second off a minor layoff. Ashby gets second time. So, hits at 13%, second race back, 11% with the horse. So maybe, the win percent's to 30%. So I think this horse is for sure live on the front end. And if, maybe they're both live, to be honest. I mean, you have Orange Juice, who's lightly raced, Oldie, and that's what I said. I think jumps from 5 to 15%, was on the lead, but has shown the ability to stay on the lead back here at a sprint. So you get the stretch out. And I think the concern, right, would just be, is this horse want to sprint, but does have a good number at 9 furlongs. So, so the way I was looking, I'm like, well, is anybody going to be able to close here? Is it just going to be kind of the speed on the front end on the turf course? So, if we jump to the 7, 1 of 42, and has not really been racing. So probably not for me at 2%. Like, what can I find? I mean, it is getting second time turf, but the GSR drops a lot. So probably cutting there. On the 3, is 12%, is a closer. So I think, and it shows the 8 and 6 closing. So, I think for me, it then becomes, okay, well, let's look at, the quality of races these are coming out of. The 9's been 17 tries. The 10 only has 3 tries. So, the 10 for sure has the most upside, right? In my opinion, the 1 won a 40 last out. In my opinion, that's going to be hard. Probably was easy, but was on the lead. Maybe tries to show speed being on the rail. You're getting a really good price for Cedino. So, I mean, versus the morning line of 9-2, you're getting 14-1, right?
Let me tell you why I tossed the 10, though. So go click on the 10 for a second. So the 10's essentially a maiden. The horse has no idea that it won that race. And between that and the fact that it's stretching out to 2 turns and does not appear to want the added distance based on GSR, those are the 2 things. And I've done really well playing against horses that are getting back that didn't actually win a race.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a valid angle for sure. Yeah, I don't know if I'd put the 10 on top, to be honest, but I do think, Tony, maybe he is. Yeah. I mean, if either one of these horses get the lead, it's so I'm looking at
they're in the gate at Aqueduct, by the way.
Okay, are you wanting me to go? I'll go over there. We probably will not be getting back to Delaware, so I'll turn the sound on.
All the money is on the coupled 1 entry.
I got Delaware ready to go. They got several minutes.
Well, I don't.
Yes and yes.
Maybe Ole has an opinion there. I never got.
Well, what is your opinion there?
I didn't even finish handicapping it. So
over there comes Urban Music is going to be mid-pack here. It's to the outside of Outlaw Kid. The 2 trailers, Cloudy and Thin.
What race we had at Aqueduct here on race 1?
Race 6.
Rockin's got the lead. It's Boats a Rockin' who's up by a half length, ready to challenge right to the outside. Here comes the run from high front. Also right there, Big Invasion Outlaw Kid is trying to pick it up, hugging the rail. It's Boats A Rockin' who kicks for home. 43-3. That half-mile time, Boats A Rockin' trying to hold him off. Here comes a big run on the outside from Bourbon Music, is traveling there with Outlaw Kid.
Outlaw Kid might win the race.
Clear two. Here comes Outlaw Kid from off the pace, is chasing now. It's Big Invasion to the inside, and Outlaw Kid down to the
Outlaw Kid is going to win the race.
Push by. Outlaw Kid gives Flavian Pratt his fourth on the afternoon.
Flavian on fire.
Invasion was in that photo. Give a late run there. Son of a bird. Woman.
I don't have necessarily an opinion here at Delaware. Looks like they're behind the gate, at least at the moment.
Delaware, I'm doing a late double there with the, let me make sure I got this right. I'm going to go with the long shot in the next race, the 9. And on this one, I am going to do, the long shot is the 2 in the next at Delaware race 8. So probably 10-2 and 10-9 with 2 is, I think, where I'm going.
I can get down with some of these GSR drops in this race would be my opinion, Oldie. You know,
no, I agree.
So I can see why you don't like the 10. I think that's why the 9 could be dangerous. Who's the favorite? The 4?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't. I mean, does get back to turf, you know. So
it appears to need the lead.
I agree. Yes. Yeah, and I don't think it's getting it.
Right. I mean, and if they go fast, it's going to set up for the 3, 6, or 8.
The 3, in my opinion, and maybe the 6, but the 3, this trainer is only 3%. But the 3 horse, when I was looking, look at the improvement last out coming off the pace on the turf, Oldie. So this, you know, coming back jumps from 2 to 12%. I'm gonna, you know, I'm not sure I'll play exacta, but I'm gonna play the 8 as a bit of a long shot and a win place would be where I would probably land at the moment. I think, and I might play a 3, 9, 10, maybe in an exacta, and try to beat the 8 and the 4. You know, the 8 is dropping in GSR. I mean,
yeah.
The 3's taking a little bit of money, bet down to 7-1 too. So
no, and you know, sometimes in these races you can find, you know, bad favorites too. You know, that's part of the game, is finding the horse that's not going to win, like that 1X in the last. I just didn't have the Aqueduct. I just didn't have the 4. I didn't realize Pratt had won 4 races either. But yeah, I played a double to the 3 here. You know, I think the 2 could go gate to wire. The long shot that Chris likes, but I think it also could possibly just stop.
The 2, yeah, in the next race. I thought that, you know, it's a main claim 25 in race 8. I mean, you know, the 6 being 0 for 12 would not surprise me in that race.
Justin, we'll have to watch for this on Saturday. Katie Davis, friend of the show, EquinEdge user. She's going to be in a grade 3 race there at Delaware on Saturday.
Oh, wow. Nice. That's
looking
awesome.
for her first graded stakes win.
Very interesting.
Getting ready to load here.
The 10 hole, the orange juice here, probably going to go off as the favorite, it looks like. You know.
Yeah. You know, also on Saturday, I don't know if any of you are playing the Gillespie County Fair, but we'll have that action as well.
Will NYRA allow us to show that? That's the question.
Actually, will Texas allow us to show it? Because apparently that's in Fredericksburg, Texas. But it's quarter horses, so we should be able to show that. And I'll tell you, my pick of the day for the Gillespie County Fair is the Gold Badge, the 1 horse in race 5.
All right, they're getting ready to load here at Delaware. Justin, I don't know if you saw yesterday that Charlestown tweeted out, "What can we do better?" So my first answer was just about everything, and then I went with Oldie's suggestion, which is make post time drag longer.
That's funny they posted that. I've never seen them active on horse racing Twitter.
Yeah, well, I think they had questions. If you go and find that thread, it's very entertaining.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people had a lot of suggestions. All right, we got a Golden Gate load situation here at Delaware, Oldie.
Burton Way and Gramalama.
Yeah, we can't even blame Matt Dinnerman for this because he's at Monmouth.
Next to join the line, his rights. Here's Steady John to break from gate 8.
John.
Coronova. K Storm Ready. Word for Word is second last.
It's like somebody on Twitter is getting in Rachel's grill, so that's a good thread to follow.
What, for real?
Yeah.
Orange Juice. Loads it 2-1.
Somebody called her second fiddle.
Ready.
To what?
Away, running. Good inside speed from K Storm Ready and his rights. They break 1-2. The outside closers descend early, including Coronova, Steady John, and Orange Juice. So they link up with the course proper. And K Storm Ready sets the tone, and it's a nice and relaxed soft pace too. Coronova is right there.
How about we don't give a nice
second place
relaxing soft
position,
pace?
and Steady John maneuvers to the rail with a nice move, and Orange Juice came away in 4th. Going wide is Burton Way, taking out his rights even wider than that. Back 2 is Word for Word, and Gramalama Ding Dong. Past the 6 furlong skip. Early
Gramalama Ding Dong.
Ready, the dictating speed, but Coronova is right there, upping the stakes to that second place position, and Steady John rides the rail with no excuses today. Same can be said for Orange Juice, passing the 4.5 and flashing out of the Little Woods. Those are the first 4 who kick away. Coronova travels 5th. Word for Word's a ground saving 6th. His rights has had a trouble trip and nothing yet from Gramalama Ding Dong. So Coronova is now kicking for the
Gramalama Ding Dong, you threw that horse
out.
By a length and a half.
We need to get this 4 and 8 out of here and get the 3 going.
So closer in
Come on with this 9.
Claim second, Orange Juice.
Yeah, the 9 would be nice. This 8 is running too good, which is a problem.
Turn for home. Coronova tries to cut and run at the 360.
Go, cut and run.
But Steady John is taking dead aim at this long time.
Man.
And Steady John is up and past when 4 said go. Coronova is right there battling on, but giving way. A distant third. Word for Word scampers up the fence with Gramalama Ding Dong, but Steady John has won it.
Gramalama Ding Dong finished 3rd, though.
Gramalama Ding
Made
Dong.
the try.
And K Storm Ready's in a photo for 4.
Gramalama Ding Dong. We'll remember that one for quite a while, that's for sure.
Yeah. Since Dick Best is serving a performance enhancing for the Viagra prescription and everything, maybe Gramalama Ding Dong's the new horse of the stretch run.
Could be. We've got Monmouth here. There's 0 minutes to post. They're getting ready to get over to the gate. Where did you guys settle with our friends at Monmouth Park?
We didn't even look at this race. Yeah. We could go to Los Al if we can. We show Los Al, Chris, right?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, you might. I mean, Monmouth Park. They're about to load. Let's go to Chris, can you show track feed of Los Al real quick? I always like seeing the daytime feed there.
Yeah, let me get this done, that done.
Oldie, can you share, because when I share on this, it gets very choppy.
Okay. There's the Gillespie County Fair. And the one race 5. All right, so you want Los Al on today. Los Al Thoroughbred.
Up.
Yeah,
RC.
race course. You got 2 horses to watch here. You got the 2 for Peter and his Miller, Giant Luther, and you have the 1 who is not being bet and looks like top pace. Here and is your long shot. So let's run the race.
The 1 and 3 are dropping, right? They're both Parabon. They're working together, Oldie.
1 and 3 are working together. Do we have a workout report of the 2 of them together? Looks like we do. With the 1 working a little easier.
Yeah, it shows up as the Scotty Longshot. I liked the 1 over the 2 mainly because of the pace figure at Los Al, or the 1 over the 3. I thought the 2 was interesting, whether or not interesting, but the 2 had a big shot, for Peter Miller of the Miller horses. Miller has the 2 and then had the 5, but the 5 scratched, I see. So I was 1-2 here, both the badge horses, and trying to get around the 3.
Yeah, I mean 1, 2, and then maybe the 6. I mean, it's a 1% horse, but Mojer's 19% with first-time starters. And this horse was working at San Nita. I mean, I don't think this horse wins, but I think if you're looking for a price in an exacta or a try to include there, the 6 would not be the worst thing in the world. And I prefer it to the 4 who is the trainer's 0 for 21 with first-time starters and is getting bet to 7-2. And, we could take a look and see if there's something in the next that you could play a double to as well. There's various ways to kind of wring some value out. The 6 just doesn't.
There's a Baffert in the 4th race, Oldie, Marsh Creek, which is JJ's riding. And I'm assuming that's where most people are going to target for single, but it is a main special.
Yeah, and I don't mind Size Lord all that much either. The O'Neill horse is a long shot there.
Yeah, I mean, pace on the dirt, right? So, but I was on the 1-2 here in the first race. Keep going if you're doing double or pick 3, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I was looking at maybe a double to the 6. The 6 kind of looks like a money burner, but so is everybody in this race.
Yeah,
somebody's got to win. I think I prefer the 6 to the 2 here, and the race sim says it's the 6 or the 2. So that I would do a 1-2 double to the 6 here.
I mean, the 3 looks like just kind of a bad favorite, Oldie.
Yeah. I mean, if the workout report is correct and the 1 is doing things easier, I think that's the case. And anytime you can get a second choice or a third choice into a double, that's going to pay too.
That's when you pull the trigger. Correct.
You can look at the probables and you can see on the doubles here and here. Let me do it from EE. Here, so let's go here, click here, and come on. Don't do that to me. Hold on. Let's just refresh. There we go. So your minimum's a $2 double. I don't think anybody's just going to play a $2 double here anyways. So 1-2 to the 6. So you can just look here. It's 5-1. If you just want to play the favorite to the 6, you're getting 5-1 here. You're getting now you're getting 2.5 to 1, and you're getting on the 1 you're getting 7.5 to 1. I'm sorry, yeah, 7.5 to 1.
So the 2 to the 6. Yeah, I also think that I added the 2 in this race, in the second race, Oldie in the double. I played the 1-2 into the 2-6.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a shot that the 6 wins there, and half my cost, and just play a $10 double for $20 there. 1-2 to the 6. Looks like they're approaching the gate there, Chris. We're at a minute.
I'm going to get us over there right now.
Dollar base pick 3s as well at Los Alamitos Race Course.
As the field approaches the gate.
Thank you, Flutterer. We appreciate it. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button as well. We're real close to 5,000. Hope everybody is enjoying the race simulator. Another awesome tool.
Yes. So Ellis, if you played my pick 4, you got a price in the race we just missed, race 7. The 6-1, race 7 at 8-1 for Ron and his Moquette.
All right. We've got a gold badge here in Belmont race 7. 11 furlongs on the turf, so they're about 11 minutes away from that.
So I was telling Howard about how not only do we get everything that Aquabase puts out, but the steeplechase and the jump races, we get that stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Luther about to move in next door.
Even the ones
don't forget the annual Moncton meet.
Yes, Moncton was what I mentioned specifically.
Where they only run at 22 furlongs. Throw some dirt on the road and just go right over them.
Good battle for favoritism.
And you jump over wood.
Trio in the gate.
Timber, to be exact.
Timber races.
Racing. Reason to believe slow to go and also slow to muster pace is now 5 lengths behind the group. Panico on the inside leads narrowly from.
This looks like almost a
lengths in front of
quarter
last
horse
vintage
race,
who covers
right?
Giant
Right.
And Reason to believe is 3 lengths off at the rear with 3.5 furlongs left to go. Panico the leader. Elondeado 3/4 of
So I
length
wonder
back on
what
his
this
outside
change
second,
in
followed
betting
by
did to
Giant
the
Luther last vintage. And Reason to believe tacking onto the
probables.
field is beginning a sweeping move, in fact, within 2.5 lengths of the front, reaching the top of the stretch, sporting very patriotic silks, I might add.
Come on, 1-2.
As they head
Beat
for
this
home,
3.
quarter mile to go. Panico, the leader, being taken on by
Come
Elondeado,
on, 1.
and then Giant Luther on
stretch
the
so
inside from
long.
last vintage, and
It
Reason to
is the
believe
longest
is
stretch
struggling
in
at
North
this point.
America.
1/8 of a mile left to go. Panico drifting
Come
to
on,
about
1.
the
Beat the
6th path,
3.
clings to a narrow lead. Elondeado grinding up. Elondeado.
Where the hell's that wire? Where's the wire? Got it. Boom.
Elondeado second. Giant
Ended
Luther
up
was
being,
third.
I think,
Clear of last
no
vintage, and
favorites,
Reason
I
to
think.
believe.
The late money came in elsewhere on the probable, so you're now getting in the double to the 6.
Yeah.
Instead of getting
the holiday program,
you're getting
the time
8.5 to 1,
59.26.
whether you got the 1 or the 2 there.
What's the 1 Oldie paying to the 2 in the double?
The 1 to the 2, you're going to like this. It is paying 23.5 to 1.
All right, sweet. Okay. Well, finally, it's been very cold today. You've been carrying the load, and so hopefully we get the 6 or the 2 in the next.
Could be an inquiry on this one.
What?
That's
No.
my line.
That's the type of day it's been. That would not surprise me.
I'm kidding. If there's an
You
inkling,
know, the second day I brought the Stewart hat just in case it was needed, and there were no inquiries of substance for Stewart the Stewart.
All right, fellas. We got some time here. 11
at least
minutes.
we have more live racing, Chris. With the cancellation of Horseshoe, so that was a bummer. They had some great races.
Number one, Panuco.
I know.
I like
that storm kind of popped up because I had been tracking the weather during the week, and there wasn't anything there, and it just kind of showed up today. So. Look, Oldie, we got
going to Aqueduct. I'll get the videos since you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, let's get out to Aqueduct.
I'll get the sound.
But Oldie, Moncton is one of his favorite meets. I mean,
yes,
we covered that recently.
We actually did cover that on the show. The Moncton capper, Chris Walsh.
How do we? But we haven't been able to show these races. How? Like, is there a possible way to show them?
You can't even bet on them, Justin. They're non-betting events. You can go to the Maryland Steeplechase YouTube page. I'm sure they would allow us to show the video.
They were retweeting us and stuff, Justin.
Yeah.
We got to be able to show them. I would be curious of how they have the video of these. Like, is there a horse that's taking the video of the race? Like, that's like, you know what I mean?
No, they have cameras and drones. I mean, they literally.
That'd be awesome if they GoPro'd the horse, though.
Yeah. They literally run over a asphalt roll, a road, and just put dirt over it.
In the middle of a forest, basically.
Yeah, and people complain about the crossover at Santa Anita. It's like, dude, they're crossing over a road. They just throw some dirt on it. Everything's okay.
Yeah, I think some of that, and I'm not, not being you're much more of a horseman than I am, Chris, to be honest with you. But some of that, I think it's like, it is what the horse wants to do, right? Mm-hmm. Whether it's racing, and maybe some don't want to race, but it's not to say, that horses in the wild or however it is. I mean, maybe they run over the road, right? Yeah. I was driving yesterday, and then we'll segue actually back to racing. And this is a pretty populated area right by Microsoft worldwide headquarters, and we're driving off the freeway with my kids, and I look to the left, and there's a deer that's like about to hop through a 5-lane highway, right? I'm like, man, but I wonder in the steeplechase, like, is there deer, like, other animals they're in the, in the race, man?
There were 2 horses that got loose close to where I used to live in Southern California by the 5 and the 210 freeway. They got spooked, and they ended up on the freeway, and it did not end well, unfortunately. But over to Aqueduct. We're going to go to Aqueduct first, and then I think Delaware is several minutes out, and I don't see where they're at with Aqueduct. I got to rely.
We're about 5 minutes from the late pick 3. You got a gold badge on your top GSR, top win, the 6 here. Going 11 furlongs. We actually have time to show a race sim. And they're off.
Be back in a couple.
You do, I believe, have a couple Chad Browns in here.
Well, only the 7 is just, 7 wants synthetic, though.
Yeah.
But Lascano, one of the best long shot turf riders, riding the 7 horse.
And so
I want to go long. Go ahead, Oldie.
I mean, this horse didn't run last time out, though, going long.
Yeah, no, I see that at Keeneland, so what happened, I have no idea. I was on the rail, right? So,
Yeah.
but keep going. I saw that horse on the race sim. I'm like, wow, for whatever reason, the race sim's catching that horse. That's why it shows up as the second pick.
Yeah, I mean, you have a big GSR on the 6, the one who was the morning line favorite and is the co-favorite right now. They're both Chad Brown horses. This is by Kingman. This horse has no speed at all. And let's see, are they adding blinkers?
They're taking blinkers off the 6.
Which is that's fascinating here. I don't know that I like that move in such a long race. What about the 5? No, never mind. Has had many shots at 11 furlongs and many shots at other distances too.
Yeah, they I think a good chance that the 5 hits the board, which is why it shows up as the silver badge with maybe not a lot of pace here, but
I don't mind the 2. I think the 2's got a shot here. Has a win at 9 furlongs on synthetic. Didn't run poorly going 8.5 at Gulfstream on the turf, so the turf shouldn't be a problem. The GSR went up. It didn't run well last time out, but broke a little further back. Let's see, upper mid kick. Gets Castellano here. He's 14% with Abreu, which is better than Abreu's regular win percentage. It's probably one of the 2 Chad Browns that wins here, the 1 or the 6. I wouldn't use the 5 at all. And, the 3, the GSR goes up, but didn't show anything on turf first time out for Falcone, but does draw an IRAD. So you may have to ask yourself, why isn't IRAD on either on the second Chad Brown horse here?
I'm gonna play the 3-6-7 exacta box, Oldie.
All right, I will go 3-6, or I may here. Let's do a late.
And even the box, 8. the 3-5-6-7 in the try for $12. The 7 is gonna be the longest shot on the board for sure. I mean, maybe the 4, but at the moment, they both. But the 7 is continually falling. But I just like the Loscano angle here. It gets off of the 2 and the 8, rides for sugar, only 12%, but he's just so dangerous on the turf. He always shows up.
Horses are at the gate. It's post time. Post time for race number 7.
I like the Irad angle on the 3 for Falcone. Irad rides back on a very lightly raced, only has 2 wins and 3 tries, so
yeah.
I think to your point, I don't really like the 5 necessarily on top, but I think the 7 is going to be close to the pace, which is a good thing, Oldie. Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see what Loscano does, but horse, I would scratch the last race at Keeneland and, won at Gulfstream in a 48. So,
yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the 2 the way you're looking at the 7.
Yeah, be like Clint.
Yeah.
I just think that horse is really proven, and it needs the drop for sure. So I get it with the 2. I mean, it gets a really good spot on the drop. I'm hoping that just maybe is not the same as a 5-year-old, but it did run last out, right, and ran 3rd, way off the pace. So.
And
like
broke
added ground,
there,
and
so
it's second time 11 furlongs, Oldie at Aqueduct. So I could see it.
Here's Catch a Wave.
Yeah, Coach Z. It's hard to get all the live feeds, and they don't apparently want more handling.
Well, and there's lots of hands in the pot too, so to speak.
And they're off. Broken up pretty even line as Be Like Clint has got
there's no,
speed,
it's just
very lined up.
no speed
Into that turn. It's going to be Breeze as they all.
The 7 going to get the lead?
At the rail there.
Sure is.
Clint. Indian Quest is in there as well. Progressing. Here comes the run from Breeze.
Irad's not going to let him go.
That's okay. This horse just needs to be up, I think, near the front for Lascano.
Like Clint is now taken back. Third position is Going Concern is right behind that rival.
They look like they're basically walking, but they went 22 in the first quarter.
That's crazy for 11 furlongs. That's got to be wrong.
That
happened last week.
They're going to go like 48, though, and like slow it down.
Approach passing us the first time. Here comes Catch a Wave, still very heavily packed here as Indian Quest is now a nose in front. Directly to the outside, there comes Breeze.
Almost 50. Wow.
Had some room at the rail, moved on through. Is now.
I don't think they went 22 for the first quarter either. I think that's probably will be corrected.
3 wide. That's Catch a Wave. Fabian Pratt looking for 5 on the afternoon. The 2 at the back. Hold the Salsa. Now the trailer is Scott to Tap. Indian Quest is in front. It's Indian Quest and Breeze. These two. To the backstretch there is Going Concern is right in behind them, is traveling nicely there from Annie Franco, and towards the outside comes Catch a Wave. Backing out of it there was Be Like Clint, is back to 5th, about to be passed to the outside here from Scat to Tap. Now makes a move. He's taken that now 5th position. The trailer, let's Hold the Salsa. Less than a half mile to go, and the battle continues up front. It's Breeze who's trying to dispatch of Indian Quest, who's been there almost the entire journey, and now Breeze kicks on, and Breeze is opened up here by a length and a half, is trying to win it right now. Here's Catch a Wave right to the outside, and Catch a Wave is on the move, is now within a half length of the leader. Battling on his Indian Quest, also trying to run on Be Like Clint. Going Concern has got to pick it up from there and Hold the Salsa, tough to handle, but does have some momentum. The leader is Breeze, and Catch a Wave, the favorite.
Come on, 7.
Stubborn long shot. Be Like Clint is
Get up.
Here's Catch a
6, 7. Come on, 7. Beat the 6. Beat the 6. Beat the 6. No.
Breeze is right there.
Oh.
Sorry, man.
No, it's okay. Oldie, crush the try. 6, 7, crush the exacta. We played 3, 6, 7, and I put your 2 in the try. The 7 on top would have been amazing, but hey, I will not complain about the trifecta there. And it sucks. I don't think I played really any verticals. I didn't. I boxed in the exacta, and then I hit the try for $1. So,
the 6, 7, Justin was paying 39 to 1.
Oldie, you got the first exacta today, and then we get another one. Yeah. You got, that's a couple 40 to 1 exactas there. Yeah, Willie, well done, man. That race him too, right? I mean, Irad kind of helped the 7. This Lascano is so dangerous on the turf. He always does stuff like this, and that one was a little bit easier to find, though.
All right, we're getting ready for Delaware. I'm still going to bet the 2 to win here. I missed my double, but I do like a 2-5 exacta box here.
I'm alive to a $10 double to the 3 here.
Should have played the super as well, but that's okay. The 5 ended up, Willie, that was so close. I thought.
Yeah,
Flavian on fire today, though. That's his 5th win, I think.
That is his 5th win. That's crazy.
And Irad lost on a 4 to 5 shot. Nothing new there.
No, Irad was on the 3.
No, earlier race.
Oh, man, I thought that Breeze had it there in the stretch, and then Flavian just came right up at the end.
Yeah.
Racing Downwind had a thread on Twitter about how Irad seems to lose the most on 4 to 5 or less horses. All right, getting ready to roll here at Delaware. Ollie, you want to flip it over to Delaware?
Jack and
Racing.
6. Last of the day before the
D's, yeah, they're before those, yeah.
There
you go, yeah, between Charlestown and Delta.
You and all your sick Delta buddies.
Oh yeah. I'll be doing Delta later.
What do you need here?
Good speed on the outside. Jack and Ava
the 2.
There's the early speed of
3.
3.
Winchester's in the firing line 2.
Or the 5.
Carrington
5-2
comes
was my
punching up
box.
the fence in front of Maximum Color, and Galleon Creek is last of all, but it's a close-knit affair as they race down to the 4.5 furlong point. It's Grand Park View with the target on its back today and shows the way by a long neck. Uncle Winchester's in a perfect spot today, and Carrington continues to take the inside trail. Jack and Ava's
looking good to be there, Chris.
The action back to Galleon Creek, and Maximum Color's the last one to swing the side. So here's the challenge now, and Uncle Winchester goes up. It goes past Grand Park View. Carrington is right there, hasn't been asked just yet, and Jack and Ava is a little floundery in 4th place position as they turn to the top of the stretch. Grand Park View battles on, so does Uncle Winchester, and Carrington loops up on the far outside, and Carrington takes for home with a half-length lead. Uncle Winchester loomed and flattened out. Late on the scene,
I did like that 5
with Grand Park View, but inside the concluding stages, Carrington from off the pace wins the lucky last over Uncle Winchester, Grand Park View, and Jack and Ava.
Thanks for joining, Annette. Glad you got in on some of the exacta action.
I love that. And I appreciate Annette chiming in. That's awesome.
Yep.
I was trying to see what the try paid, but they're taking forever to show. I kept the feed on and.
All right, let's get over to Monmouth. We got a Monmouth live race. We could show race 6, Oldie.
All right, we also have the single and the Ellis Park pick 4 coming up. But Monmouth, 2 minutes to Monmouth, 2-year-old fillies going 5 furlongs. Let's run the race sim. So the first call, 2's going to get an easy lead. At the stretch, 2's still got a lead, and the 1 and 9 come late. I've mentioned this many times that very few times you see 2-year-olds, especially first-time starters, pass anybody. You do have huge works on this Delgado horse, though. Huge works on the 1.
Oldie, did you play your single? Is it still alive at Ellis?
Yeah, still alive at Ellis to the 13th.
Would you want me to play the sound?
Go for it. Maybe a 1-2 exacta at not gonna pay a ton at Monmouth though.
Lipsay Bliss is the favorite, Oldie. Lipsay Bliss is the 13.
Yeah.
It's Aquinas
kind of slow,
which includes Horace Mann and Gatlinburg, and those two pick it up together. Our Dream Ride strides into the 3rd spot.
He kind of broke a little slow, but found a great spot, to be honest, off these maybe just cheaper long shots.
After them races Silver Heist and Sergeant Pepper as the last of all. They hook up with the main track.
They need to work on the camera work here.
I know.
Keeping the horses on the screen.
In 3rd. Our Dream Ride's only 2 lengths from the front. It's about 2 lengths. Back to Pike Place with Thomas Aquinas. Ibn El Arabi is 3rd.
Tony Kalo back on the mic.
Yeah.
And it's a length and a half to Sergeant.
Thought I was back at Turfway Park.
Continues and Horace Mann continues to be a pesky pace partner. Lipsay Blizzard.
That's where my kids go to elementary school is Horace Mann.
Pike Place is picking up his stride, getting within 4 lengths of the front.
Your 13 need to get going. The 5 looks to have a lot of horse on the rail.
Yeah, I'm worried about the 5.
Sergeant Pepper and Ibn El Arabi. In the meantime, Horace Mann has come away with the lead.
The 11 running Horace Mann, a big race. 11 might win. Yeah, 11
might be. Now watch out for that 5 on the rail. 13 not good enough. A bit slow break.
Gatlinburg, Thomas Aquinas from the inside, then Silver Heist. Horace Mann strutting his stuff. Horace Mann comfortably in command.
I wish I would have seen that. It would have been a little, whatever you call those types of plays, but that's okay. Sorry, Oldie.
All right, Monmouth, we're getting to the gate here.
The huge works on the, like I said, on the Tis the Law firster for Delgado.
The trifecta there at Big A paid 66.50 for 50 cents. The Exacta paid 40.50, so both pretty good. I mean, I think the Exacta, in my opinion, he got a little bit better maybe value than even the Tri, but it still paid nearly 130 to 1 in the trifecta, which is awesome.
I'm spending a few dollars here on the 9 horse, the long shot here at Monmouth.
Take a toll.
Take a toll. Mitole, 2-year-old.
Well, I saw that earlier. Was this the race? I don't think this was the race, though. No, I saw a Mitole horse at some point when I was handicapping.
Yeah.
Justin, you're going to come on tomorrow at about 4 p.m. Eastern. Is that what you said?
Saturday. Yeah. Because you guys are starting at 10. Yeah. And then at 1. And then, I have a baseball game at 1 at the same time. Right. Okay. So, and then that's our first district game. So, it'll be probably about 4 Eastern, which will be great. Cause you guys are going to go all the way. We'll go all the way through the Indiana Derby.
Yep, I'll have Derek come on early with us then. That'll work out well. And I'll reach out to David tomorrow and see if he's around.
Yeah, that'll be good. And it was good to look at the end of that Indy card on Saturday. I know we started the show. If anybody missed that, you could go back. We had Rachel on to look at some of those races. So
Derek was just out in Vegas for the World Series of Poker, busted out in Wassel, but did get finals table at one of the moneymaker contests and finished 7th.
And Lara,
nice.
Now was off slowly. Governor, awesome. The runner with experience, had plenty of early lick coming out of there and opens up 2 lengths in a hurry. Tis Purple, the gray horse, flashing forward to be a joint second. Queen for a Night is there. And deeper is Queen for a Night, who's going to ease off the pace here. A Cozy Thing moving up to be level 2nd around the turn. Me Governor is first around that turn, leads by a length and a tail from Tis Purple, who runs in the 2nd position. A Cozy Thing alongside, sent along as well. A gap of 5 or 6 to Queen for a Night is plummeted back. Winning Shot not picking up the pace, nor is Bugged Out. Then comes Take a Toll, Authenticate now. Lady Catalina is dropped out as they come off the turn. Me Governor still in charge. The margin's a length and a half.
9 running good, Chris. But
so I had the Exacta for $5 and the Tri for $1.
Trying to surge late, but Me Governor still in front. Tis Purple a length behind. She's not going to get there. Me Governor gives Paco Lopez a hat trick. Tis Purple put up a good account of herself in the career debut.
You got to go Bryce at 2-1 there.
Though. Take a Toll was 3rd. Yeah. A Cozy Thing.
I mean,
like I said, 3-year-olds don't pass each other. 2-year-old first-time starters don't typically pass horses.
So
especially leaders.
You need the 6 that we have Low Sal in 5 minutes. You need the 6, and I have the 2 and 6. I'm gonna be right back though. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick.
Go for it. Oldie, if you want to pull up Low Sal, I'll get the video queued up here as well.
The Los of the Al. 5 minutes to the Los of the Al. And we have, so if we run the race sim, it really shows the 2 and the 6. The 3 is finishing a little bit too, but it's further back. My point on this race was that none of these horses seem to really like to win, and somebody's going to have to win here.
Yep. You want to take a shot at pronouncing the name of the 3 horse?
Zizix.
For everybody that lives in Southern California that has made that drive to Vegas, it's a very famous exit out there in the desert on the way. Zizix.
The physics of Zizix.
Mm-hmm.
It does look, though, as they go to the stretch, like the 5's going to have a pretty decent lead going into the stretch. So the 5 could end up hanging on, even though it has it backing up. Funky Gray, who's 5-2 right now. But does tend to back up. So, and it's only when it was against 28s. The 2's 9-1. So, if you believe in the 2, or if you want to cover the 2, I probably am going to cover the 2 here. there's an objection at Monmouth on the two first and second place finishers. Just to
Matt Miller in the house. That's the book. You should definitely go to abetterwayofthinking.com and order your copy today. We'll be having Matt on here in the next coming weeks and whatnot. I was just happy that the horse that he wanted last week at Aqueduct won. Otherwise, I'd have been in the doghouse, I think. But thanks, Matt, for jumping on. I know he was showing
me the plans for building the doghouse and everything like that before it won. So
yeah. He was probably just got done with PTF on the Horse Players Happy Hour show. So, like I said, we've got a Good Friday coming up in August where we'll have Matt and Brad on. I'll let you guys know which day that is when we settle on it. So,
Justin, we have an objection at Monmouth.
What? Objection?
Objection. I did not see anything. It looks like it was not in the stretch.
And they're flashing the 2 and the 1. Jockeys are off.
Why don't you, Chris, go back to the video? That's why I got Los Al on the. Or you could I'd go just back to Monmouth Park because. I mean, we talked. I think we both agreed the 6 was going to be tough at Los Al. I know I used the 2 also in the double, but I'll watch Los Al, Chris, if you want to, like on the side.
It looks like it's now that they've dismissed the objection. So
yeah,
that was quick.
Yep, 2 stays.
And I will add at Los Al, Justin, you're getting 8-1 on your 2, so maybe worth a win play show there too.
Yeah, I played the daily double into the 2-6, and I'm trying to see what else.
Approaching the gate, post time in 1.
Here's a question for you guys. Any talk about the horses that are 2+ lengths in the race sim?
Derek actually posted those in the stretch run group this morning. I actually forgot about that, so I appreciate the Crazy Brothers mentioning that because, and we should look at them, Chris. Maybe after this race we can. I pasted them and I forgot I was going to put them in my notes and actually forgot to do that. But Derek was tracking that, so I think he'll definitely talk about that on Saturday when he's on. But we could look at. Oh, I didn't realize that was Derek. Yeah, so. You should talk about it on Saturday, Derek, for sure. But I think we should look at them if there's some left. I meant to put those in my notes.
The Rhapsody. And
yeah, I like the angle. I've used them in the past. They, those sources like jump off the page, for lack of a better term. In my, they can just jump off the screen sometimes.
Lisa's Angel.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Belmont.
Ready.
Yeah, we played the exacted there. I didn't. That's how I played it, Derek. I don't know if you were on the show. I talked about the 6-7. We played the exacted and the
Sally in gate 4.
I had the 7. I thought was going to win that race.
Racing now. Runaway Sally begins quite well, not as fast as stablemate Funky Grey or I Love You Too, and OC Rhapsody flashes speed along the inside. It's OC Rhapsody contending for the lead with Funky Grey. I Love You Too is close handy, but
I feel like I'm watching now a 1,000-yarder.
Runaway Sally and
Lisa it's a little more than 1,000.
Wide at the rear.
I know.
Heading into the turn. And OC Rhapsody on the inside leads Funky Grey.
Remember that night they put the gate at the wrong distance?
Oh, I will always remember that, brother.
Yeah, that's my second worst memory next to the Manny Franco jump off.
And it's Funky Grey heading for home on about 1.5 lengths lead. Lisa's
Come on, Oldy, you gotta get the save here.
I Love You Too running third with 3/16 left to go. It's Funky Grey in front, pursued by Lisa's Angel and I Love You Too from either side, but Funky Grey is resilient mid-stretch.
Looks like
Funky
5.
Grey going on strongly with the job, leads by a couple of lengths to I Love You Too and
5-2 is good.
Funky Grey, who was
No,
third
I need
at
the 2 to
21 to
win.
1 on opening
That's a
day,
bummer.
is coming
So I
home to
wouldn't place
score this
showed the 2
afternoon
because
from
of that
I Love
price.
You Too, Lisa's Angel, and Runaway Sally ended up 4th.
Well, that was a fun ride. Back
Not
at
so
it.
much. Not so much. All right, where are we
That
at?
horse took a lot of money. Oh, they got bet all the way down to 4 to 1.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are running out of stuff. So we've got, what do we have here?
Well, we got Woodbine coming up in about 17 minutes.
Yeah. You want to go through, we got Monmouth in 19 minutes. Oldie, if you want to go through like the Monmouth early, the race 1, and then maybe come up with a Monmouth pick 5. And on cue, there's Tony.
You mean Woodbine?
Woodbine, yeah, sorry. Woodbine pick 5, and maybe go over the first race at Woodbine as well.
All right, so we're Woodbine race 1, let's start with. Going 6 furlongs on the turf.
On the Canadian.
Canadian 6 furlongs, yes.
Yeah.
So 1-6, here the 6 is actually the favorite. It also is your top win. Possibly the 1 goes gate to wire here for Gail and her Cox. Moving from synthetic, losing some GSR points here, but there's not a lot of other speed. You have a Ward horse in the 6, which is one of the reasons why it has a high win percentage and is being seen well by the bettors here, but it isn't working great. And ships in from Keeneland. So they may have just picked this as a soft spot, second time starter there. So you may be able to play, if you think this horse is going to show more speed, which I think is what you need here, you could look at playing a 6 to. Hold on.
Oldie, what about the 4 horse? Because GSR on the turf has always been a crazy long shot angle, I will tell you.
Yeah. And it is a Mark Casse horse, so I don't know why it's only 3%. Other than that the Wesley Ward horse is sucking up all the win percentage.
I mean, the apprentice rides the 4, so the 4 horse I would have to use in all of my bets. I just in this race, I mean, they're sprinting on the turf, and you see some low GSRs, Oldie, on the 1 and the 2, and they're going to be on the inside. They're going to show speed. The horse looks to be working well. This would be my long shot, I would say, looking at this race. But keep going.
Well, and I was just looking for a double opportunity into race 2 at Woodbine. So the 9 easily wins the race sim, or pretty easily on the synthetic here. It's the also top SOR, top win, and wins the race sim. That to me, you could play the A1, and again, because race 1 isn't part of the early pick 5 or early pick 4, you either got to play a pick 3 or a double here. So we've been playing a bunch of doubles. Let's play a $1 pick 3 here. And we're going to add the 4.
Play it for 20 cents, though, is the cool thing about Woodbine, I would tell people. I think. So keep going, Oldie.
All right. So let's say we want to single the 9, but let's look at the 4 too. 4 might be only pace here. Let's look at the race sim with the 4 as well. The race sim's a little closer than you'd like here. But the 4 has 1, 2 in a row. The 1's coming down in class, or had come down in class and didn't win last time out. But I think I'd rather have more horses in race 3 than in race 2.
Yeah, but so who are you going to use in race 2? Because Delphia with Kimura is, I don't even know how much money this horse is going to take, but getting back to turf at 7.5 and was the favorite last out in the 52. I mean, maybe he takes money, but maybe doesn't. I mean,
yeah. I kind of like the 9 here, but I don't like the GSR on the 9 as I look at it closer. So
none of the GSRs though only are good on the turf, but there's speed here in the 1, which will have cheap speed, but does that mean the 5 and 7 still could win the race? Would be my initial, like the 1's cheap speed, the 1 might not even get the lead, but if it does, it's just going to set some pace. You know, the 5 and 7 are going to get first jump. The 5 won last out in a 54, like sitting right off the pace. So, but that was a 42. That's a massive jump up in class. And now stretches out to 7.5. But in the 5, I mean, the 7 is the horse there that gets back to turf. That was my point. Jumps up all the way to 24%. Like, I love this horse because you have Kimura. It's been running. It was at Oakland, like in way, way tougher. And then the horse actually finally gets back to turf. And it, you know, you go back here and it ran fine in higher 50s, right? It's 14 tries as a 4-year-old. It's at the 7.5 claimer. It's dropping. Yeah. So that's what I love about just the GSRs aren't great here, but it is getting back to turf. I mean, it hasn't been able to win, but it's been facing tougher. So
yeah, I mean, I think the 3 and the 9 are legit favorites here. And I think the 7's a legit long shot as well. Like you said, there's not very much here that really is bred to go on the turf. The 3 does have a nice win last time out, but against easier at this distance. And it's dropping in claiming price as well with a low percentage trainer, but gets Emma Jane Wilson, who I believe is now the winningest female jockey of all time.
Yeah, we hit it. She was in our exacta last week. Last Saturday. That was a great race, and she's been riding on the 3 that gets back to turf at 7.5, which won last out. So it will have to improve. So makes sense. I think with the cheap speed, I'm with you. She's gonna get a great trip. I think it comes from less classy races would be my biggest concern, Oldy, on the 3. It couldn't win back there in the 40s, but is a 4-year-old filly, only raced 10. She continues to improve, but at the bottom level here.
For sure. Does have some turf breeding on the top for distance, though. And this is a 2-turn race.
Yeah, shows runs second in the race, Tim. So that's where I think this is a tough race. 3-7-9 for me. Did we talk? I mean, on the lead, the 5 could, win on the lead, but I don't like the drop in GSR on the turf. So maybe that's okay. I mean, it's now sprinting. I think there's just a lot of pace. So that's where I can see the 3 or 9. I mean, those are the horses that are going to be closing, right? But what about the 6?
Well, I don't really like the 6. I mean, you look at the 6, and the 6 has had many more opportunities on turf. And, it looks one pace to me. Just doesn't really pass anybody, just kind of lollygags out there. So for me, the 6 would be a toss. If I were adding anybody, I guess it would be the 5. but only because it looks like the race sim thinks the 1 breaks slow. If you look at the first call, the 5 outbreaks the 1.
But how can my only so I think you have to, I would have to be 3, 5, 6, 7, 9 at least in this race. Here would be my comments on the 6. So how much we still have time? We have 7 minutes, right, Chris? So I'm trying to formulate a pick 3 to play here. I think the 6 is getting back to turf and throw all those synthetic races out at Woodbine. And if you go all the way back, again, I think a tough win here for a 6-year-old mare, but I would say she has shown the ability to like stock off the pace and had been facing a lot tougher horses, but has not been running. But predominantly, it could be because, maybe wants to get back to turf at 7.5. I don't really follow that, but I would assume maybe there's a little bit of a tricky distance because there is that Gulfstream Park. I don't know at Woodbine, but she shows up at 7%. I like the 7 a lot. So like you like the 9 a lot. I like the 7 a lot. But let's keep going. Wherever you want to go. I'm not sure I would play this yet.
For me, I think I wouldn't go any deeper than 3, 7, 9 in race 2. And then if I'm going to do that, I'm going to single the 4, the top pick in race 3, and just take my chances that it's classy enough to handle the move up here.
Do you think the 4 just wires the field?
I think it's possible. I think it's also, I don't like that the 2 is the long shot here. As the morning line favorite, even though it gets Kamara, I downgraded in this case because it should be the first choice in top win percentage and isn't. And that tells me that those algorithms are seeing something there. And, I think the 1, may prefer turf and doesn't have any speed. The 3, maybe has a chance here, but again, needs some pace to run into. The 5 needs pace, no speed. And, the 6 has no speed either. I mean, broke 8th and was 12.1 lengths back last time out. And let's see, anybody getting blinkers? Nobody's getting blinkers. So, I just think it looks like the 4, you get Sophia here. There, she's 24% with a 10% trainer. And to me, that's a risk at 6-1 on the morning line, hoping the 2 and 3 get pounded, that I'm willing to take. I'm almost treating the 4 like it's the long shot, and the 2 like it's the first choice that I think is bad.
So Oldie, I actually agree with you on that. As I was just looking at it, 100%. I like your 4. I don't like the 2 at all. So I won't even. We'll just stop talking about it. I think that. Well, I'm like, hey, if we're going to agree, let's make it simple, right?
Yeah, exactly. 4 minutes, guys, till they get to the gate.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so I actually kind of like the 5 because it shows up on the Bruno work report is my only comment, in the work. It ran 4 out of 121. So, maybe this horse for some reason is ready to fire. I don't know. It's just a massive long shot. It's 7%. If somebody comes off the lead, it's the 5. But I like the 4. I don't like the 2. The 1, the second pick, has been, not race 7 on the synthetic. It did run it back 3 back in a 56, but, didn't really run well. Has not run a ton, but it has a big GSR or a big SOR, I would say. It's the top SOR. So that would be my concern with Emerald Lake. Like, these horses burn me, like SOR, second pick. So I would have to use the 1, the 4, the 5. I'm using the 3, did win at 7, now stepping up. ran at 54, second off the layoff, only 7% for this trainer, the 3 horse. Maybe wants. I'd probably pass on the 3.
What if I told you that the winner of the race sim, when it also is top win and top pace, wins 47% of the time? I'm sorry, 48% of the time.
Okay, I'm using 1, 4, 5. And your 4 might be a single, to your point. I like the exactly here, the 4 over the 1, 5, 2. So, all right, Oldie, what are you playing?
So I'm playing this pick 3. And I played it for $2, not $1.
Well, praise the Lord. I mean, my Lord, you're playing it not at base. I love that. I love it. Nobody should ever play anything at Monmouth for 20 cents. Ever.
Yeah, Monmouth.
Woodbine.
I mean, Woodbine. Yes. Ever. And
like
Monmouth.
We missed,
crazy.
we did miss the stakes race at Belmont, and the 4 horse who I told you that was the E top choice that won the race sim. That horse, that angle was 0 for 15. It's now 0 for 16.
Yeah.
Is that horse lost? So if we can find 1 or 2 angles that we can toss those typically low odds horses, that's going to improve the accuracy of when we pound stuff on the race sim as well.
Sure. That race finished 3-1, so it was the second choice over the long shot in a 4-horse field in grade 2.
Grade 2 and name only.
Yeah.
Just like there's some on Saturday, some grade 1 and name only races at Aqueduct.
Going into the gate at the Bine.
The first along is Kokomo, has gone up. Cairo Caper.
Take me down to
alongside.
I like the 1 and 4 on top here to beat the 6. The 6 might run okay. Probably gonna run second.
Cairo Caper gate 2, lane 5
that's,
here on the
that's what I like here.
Oldie,
you're playing. What are you using in your pick 3?
146
is the
that's I like it. It's a good exacta bet too, in my opinion. Those 4 looks good.
There's a scratch at the gate last time. Conica.
Maybe I would love to see a 1-4 would be amazing. But
just behind the gate,
Ward
Monterey
probably
gonna
run okay. I just don't think has to win the race.
Monterey Bay.
I like it, Tony. Toss the chalk. You don't like it, toss it.
To the outside gate.
You could also chalk the toss.
Yeah. Good.
Favorite here, Monterey Bay.
Hello, Scotty.
On the tailored turf.
Hello, Scotty.
All in and locked up.
How's the new house?
Where is the new house?
Or is it new domicile? Or
great start, Kokomo on the inside. Got out in front. Clear. Cairo Caper's second. And over on the outside in third is Isaac Leo, and they came clear. Over on the inside is DeWolf, and next is Monterey Bay. Breaker 3 to Conica, who's second last. And the early trailer is Shifty. They're well strung out. Kokomo shows the way as they head down the side by 2 lengths to Cairo Caper. 1 away third DeWolf. About a length away on the outside is Isaac Leo as they bunch a little. Monterey Bay behind the top 4. A gap of about 5 or 6 to Conica, and Shifty is 3 away last. Heading down inside the 3/8, the leader remains Kokomo by a length to Cairo Caper. Pushing up nicely is DeWolf on the inside of Monterey Bay, coming home well. On the outer, Isaac Leo, and catching ground is Shifty from last. And on the inside is also Conica, but down the stretch.
Round. Come on, baby!
Inside then Monterey Bay. Kokomo and Cairo Caper.
Yeah,
then Cairo Caper on the outside of Kokomo takes an advantage now. And then came DeWolf and Monterey Bay and Shifty down the outside. Cairo Caper sailing clear. Cairo Caper by a length to Kokomo.
Getting around good. Watch next time out.
Cairo Caper for Jose Campos by a length. Kokomo second, Monterey Bay in the show photo with DeWolf. And behind them came Shifty Conica, along with.
How's the puppy doing?
All right, gentlemen, we're going to just cruise over to Monmouth real quick here because they've got a race going off. We've got about 20 some odd minutes with you guys left before the 4th of July festivities start out here in Florida.
Well, you know, George and his Weaver look pretty good here.
Yeah.
You know, you
Puppy training for 2 weeks, huh, Scotty? Is that for you or the puppy? Which one?
Who's a good boy, Scotty? Who's a good boy? So the 9 wins the race sim. Top pick, top win. The 7 is top SOR. Top pace is the 1 who looks cheap. Here.
And the runners have now reached the starting gate. It's post time for race number 7.
I'm going to try a 9-8 exact.
Adios
here.
Buccaneer loads into the gate. Hard spun.
I like
Fantasy
the 8,
takes
Oldie.
his spot.
It's you're getting, I mean, 22-1 is the long shot. I think win play shows not a bad bet either on the 8. But yeah, with the favorite, the 8 is a good long shot. It's the Scotty long shot for sure. I was looking one last out, and you know, the GSR, it's not a great race.
Buy tap it. You know, there are no.
Arrow Speed, post position number 8. 2 back, Ice the Kicker.
What a great name.
And Live High, Live Low. Here's Live High.
Penny, we'll get to your question right after this race.
And
the answer is yes.
Ready to go.
Penny.
Yeah. But we'll get you a little bit more detail.
And let off. Uneventful start. Adios Buccaneer on the inside and Live High, Live Low from the far outside. They're 1-2. Adios Buccaneer with an arrow lead and Live High, Live Low on a hold taking second. Frizanti third. Rapture
Scotty has the 8 in the tourney. Do you see that? I love it. Good luck, Scotty. Right, it's a great long shot.
Go around the clubhouse turn where the clear leader is
even
Adios
a second
Buccaneer.
would pay
He's
nicely.
got a line of 3 right behind them.
No, 20 is 29-1.
About a
Yeah.
length off the lead, approaching the back stretch. Frizanti third, just a half length in front of Rapture Bay, who's on restraint right now. Fourth, he's 2.5 clear of Ice the Kicker and Arrow Speed, continuing to run as a team. Another 2 to the last pair, Pal and Hard Spun Fantasy as they head down the back stretch. It's still Adios Buccaneer in charge here, a length and a half in front as he opens up just a little bit. Live High, Live Low, happy where he's at second. Frizanti to the inside. Rapture Bay, fourth, now 3.5 lengths off the lead, approaching the turn. Ice the Kicker, saving ground into that turn. Arrow Speed alongside of him. Pal and Hard Spun Fantasy still have a lot of work to do as they round the far turn. Adios Buccaneer threatening to go wire to wire at 8-1. He's still in front, but the margin's 3/4 of a length. Live High, Live Low, right behind him, chasing second. Frizanti all in as he cuts the corner, and then Rapture Bay, who needs to do more in fourth.
Come on, 9-8.
Adios Buccaneer has a challenge,
He's
a
not
dangerous
gonna have
one
enough.
from
9
Live
will
High,
win.
Live Low in the Redham Racing colors, who soars to the lead, puts this race to bed. Live High, Live Low, Paco Lopez with a big 4th of July. That's 4 wins for him this afternoon.
Well, Scotty dropped in the chat.
Yeah. And, you know, Scotty, the numbers that I have are historically right around that as well. So
there's Penny's question, and there is Scotty's answer, and then Oli just gave you some commentary on that.
Yeah, so I manually collect the data as well as Scotty knows on my own, and my numbers say 33% for top win as well.
All right, guys, coming up here in 6 minutes is Los Al Race 3. Oldie, I'll throw it back over to you and Justin for the handicapping on that. And then I think we got like one more race.
Yeah, what are we doing before we get off? We're doing Los Al, and is that it or something else?
After Los Al, Justin, let me tell you what I got here. we'll probably go, if Oldie has a early pick 5 at Woodbine, we can do that, and then we can skedaddle after that.
So we'll go here and then Woodbine, and yeah, okay, cool. I'm down.
Thank you, Elaine. Happy 4th to you and to everybody watching as well.
Yeah. Big age finale. The problem is that when does I have to go over to EquinEdge because I don't have it on my ADW anymore. We got 15 minutes to the last at Aqueduct. So after this low sal race, we'll go to the last at Aqueduct, and that will be our close.
I know the system likes the Delahousie horse here, but why? I kind of like the Sadler horse, the 2, Right Leaf.
Who did you say the system likes?
Isn't it the? Oh, I said Delahousie. That's wrong. It's the Dallas.
Yeah, different dude.
Different person.
Right?
I was not paying attention enough to the name. I saw the, but I like the 2 here. I think the 2's got a big shot. Other than the fact it seems to run every other race or so, but there's a big GSR on the 5, but low percentage connections. And the 1 seems to, it's the 1 or the 2 is what the race sim is saying. The 6 is also closing. So if you think there's enough pace, maybe you add the 6 here just in case at 5-1. So maybe a 1-2-6 try or exacta, and you throw the 5 and 3rd as well. See Chris right there.
No, I mean, I actually did look at this race. I thought it was actually fairly wide open. So I do agree with you, Oldie. I'm against the favorite. I think you talked about Brightleaf, the 2. I think I want somebody up close. Is the only reason why I don't really like the 6. I think it's, I think the speed's probably holding here. So for me, I just kind of was looking at the 1, 2, 3. I thought that maybe the 6 could hit the board, but I didn't think it probably win the race. It is a long shot though. So I'd probably land more on the 2, 3 though, Oldie. For me here would be where I would land. I think Brightleaf, is probably going to sit somewhat a little bit, not too far off the pace though. Right. So I think, and I think maybe the 1 does stop, and that's why I think the 2 or 3 get up. So.
Yeah, no, and I could see that. And, I'm going to try to maybe add the 3 and play a try with the throwing the 1 out of first place there.
Yeah, maybe the 6 can hit the try though, would be my 1 comment. Maybe can't, at 6-1. I think if
I will say maybe pay attention to the fact that Rispoli's riding there though.
Yeah, I would play this 2-3 over 1-2. See, I don't think the 4. I think you could see the 5 or 6 hit the board here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the 5 is, and that's why I said maybe use them in 2nd or 3rd spot. I think that the 5 more likely in 3rd and maybe the 6 in 2nd. But also think about maybe a 2-3 double to the Baffert favorite in the next.
Yeah, the 3 is dropping in GSR.
They shut the front door again.
Yeah, I mean, but it's still not
expectations obliges by moving
bad. I like the little circles now with the downhill turf course on the 3 horse. I never seen this before.
Will be the last in. Move to
Yeah, that
taking just his second.
I think that was added last week.
Single track mind.
No, I hadn't seen that. That's cool. It reminds me like of golf. I just thought that I think the 3-horse, it has talent as a 6-year-old. You know, it's had a lot of layoff
away
lines.
well with Birth of Cool and Midnight Mammoth, a line of 3 early leaders, clear of Low Expectations, Single Track Mind, and Bright Leaf along the rail. 6 lengths covering them. Midnight Mammoth, the favourite, goes to the lead. From the second wagering choice, Mubtada. In third is Birth of Cool as they sweep the first turn. Low Expectations fourth, 6 off the lead. Then Single Track Mind and 2 lengths to Bright Leaf. Into the back stretch with 6 furlongs to travel. Midnight Mammoth, half a length Mubtada. 2 lengths to Birth of Cool.
Don't really like what I'm seeing from the
Low
two.
Expectations kept
That's
company by
really
Single
far
Track
back.
Mind. Bright Leaf sits back 4 lengths behind that pair and 10 from the front running favourite. Midnight Mammoth takes the right-hand dog leg for Ayuso, leading over the grey Mubtada by 3/4 of a length. Low Expectations is back fourth, just being shaded by Birth of Cool. Then Single Track Mind, 6 off the lead, and at the rear is Bright Leaf. Heading into the far turn, Midnight
Come
Mammoth
on,
pressed
3.
a little more
Beat
by
this
Mubtada.
1.
Mubtada moving up, level
Not the
pegging with
4.
3
You
eighths
need
of a
the
mile
4
to
to
go.
run
Birth of Cool's
second.
running a
No,
good race.
just
I think the
ride.
halfway
Stop
third.
looking around.
Mubtada leads
Yeah.
Midnight Mammoth into the stretch by a neck. And then a long margin to the trailing trio headed by Low
Come on.
Expectations. Less than a quarter mile to
Come
go
on.
in the
Come on,
home
3.
stretch. Mubtada has
Need
the
that
lead
one to
over
stop.
Midnight
Stop.
Mammoth,
Come
followed by
on.
Birth of Cool, and a long way back to Low Expectations.
Oh.
Stretch at the 8th pole. Mubtada
One
under very
game.
heavy pressure as Midnight Mammoth is coming right back for more on his inside. Midnight Mammoth and
No.
Mubtada. Midnight Mammoth regaining the lead with a 16th lap to go. And the
Whoa,
favourite
the
will pull
horse
away
took
and be
a
too
stumble.
strong in the
That
run
was
home.
bad.
Midnight Mammoth outstays Mubtada, followed
Oh,
in by
man.
Birth
I'm
of
glad that
Cool, and
that
Bright
didn't look
Leaf picked
good.
up some
That was
pieces
kind of
late
a
to make the
brutal stumble
superfecta.
right there.
Yeah. Less than ideal.
The 2 stumbled at the start, and then the 3 stumbled at the end. That was not good. That's okay. It's gonna
Let's
happen.
get over to Aqueduct for our last race of the day, and then everybody can kick off their July 4th. I'm going to a barbecue here in about 20 minutes in the neighborhood. We've got all kinds of fireworks tonight. Should be pretty darn good. So hope you all have some great plans.
We're going to barbecue for our second night in a row here.
Nice.
At the Oldie household.
At the Oldie. What are you barbecuing tonight, Oldie?
Steaks, burgers, possibly some salmon. We barbecued some salmon last night as well. So
excellent, excellent. Justin, what are you doing? What are your plans? You're kid free.
I am. I know it's kind of crazy. I'm going up north. It's probably like an hour away I have family that lives on, it's called Camano Island. So it's on Puget Sound. It's a good spot. As a kid, I went up a lot as a kid. I haven't been up there. I haven't seen people in a long time. So I got to pick my mom up on the way though. So I think, awesome. Yeah, she was still working. I think she had to work today for a bit. So, sounds like she just got off work, so this is perfect timing because this is our last race. So, yep, that's the plan. Barbecue and hang out.
Let's look at Bluegrass Dan's payouts here. He's alive to the 1, the 5, and the 6.
All right.
So go 6.
Go 6.
Go 6.
We like Bluegrass Dan to get a winner for sure. What do you guys got here?
I don't know because I didn't look here, but I'm all for looking at it. Oldie, you want to go through it, or what's your plan?
Hold on one sec here. So I did play that pick 3, which is alive to the 1, 2, 5, 6, and 8 here.
You're alive to what?
1, 2, 5, 6, 8, and a pick 3. 2 would be okay. All right, so let's look at this race. I thought, I sorted by GSR here. I thought the Linda Rice Lascano horse on the turf with the top GSR first time turf might have a look here.
Yeah, I mean, he rode Breeze just a little bit ago at 17-1. I mean, would not surprise me. He's always going to be a good long shot on the turf. So, yeah, 100% agree with you. Yep.
The race sim says the 5. The 3 is going to likely be on the lead early, pressured by the 5 and the 1. I just wonder, though, whether, you get somebody coming from behind here, like the 6, 10, 9, or 7, just because of the amount of speed here.
Rail's at 36 feet. So, I mean, it's going to be tough, but you could. I mean, the race sim has the 5. 5's taking a ton of money, too, as the 5 winning the race.
Yeah.
Tongue twister.
Tongue twister.
Only 10%.
For Ray and his handle here. I got a chuckle out of Chris. I could hear that one. From a GSR standpoint, none of these horses that could be running late with the 10, 6, and 9 really look like they want turf. But if everybody's tired out, I'd go with the 6 out of that bunch.
I think the 6 could win the race, Oldie, for Flavien Prat. I mean, he's having a day.
It's red hot, yeah.
And even though the GSR is not great here, if the pace stops, I mean, this horse, there's a great chance that she could win the race, I would say. I like your 2. You have great chances. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we were to put together a trifecta or a superfecta here, what would you do here, Justin? Any thoughts?
I don't know yet.
We could break out the ticket generator for that too.
Yeah, I would. I just use the ticket generator, and then we can look at the sim rate. The 3-horse runs really good too. Would be a part of only 3% though.
But and is over 16 lifetime.
Yeah.
And I have a note on the horse of ran like an idiot. No, literally, that's what it said. Ran off like an idiot out of gas by turn. Excuse me if I pass on the 3, but that might tell you that maybe the 1 gets an easier lead or an easier trip here if this horse is just going to stop like an idiot for Mark and his Hennig. But I don't think I would play the try this way, though. You maybe do something like this.
What you have the 8 Devil Zero?
Yes, I do, but in the pick 3, but I don't think it's a lock to win, and I'm just gonna make this so.
I'm playing a 286 exacta. That's how I would play this race. That's
286.
That's what I'm playing. That would be my on top horses. Underneath, this is, I mean, I just don't think this race will chalk out on top. I think the favorite, I'm not sure I trust this speed up front, Oldie, is my, the 8 adds blinkers and is lightly raced here and finds state bred maiden claimers that are not good. So, I like the win percent. I like the, adds blinkers. It's Manny's, I guess we like it's Manny. Maybe. I don't know. The GSR drops, but this is not a great group, right? So I don't, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's not a great group. Maybe it is the 8 at 5-1. The low GSR is something that concerns me on that horse.
It's a bad group, lightly raced though. I mean, this is a 40,000 claimer. It's a good purse. So, I mean, you know, I don't know connections at all, but
I'm going to play this, I think. I'm going to play.
Jonathan Thomas hit a 22% second-time starters, too, and you're getting 9-2. So I mean, horse worked well at Delaware, and so
I was going to point out, though, that 22% is mostly at lesser tracks.
Yeah, I could see it, but we're state bred here, Oldie. So,
yeah,
like, you know, you're finding the right spot if you're the connections. I mean, you love this with, you know, $45,000 purse. And, you know, if the horse is ready to go and this is where you're going, you know, may just be able to sit off the speed if it can stock. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, they do have blinkers, which it's good, I would say, probably from my perspective, but you know, and the horse is working well. So it's just not a great group here, I guess is my point. And it's state bred, they find a great spot.
We getting close here, guys? I can't see. I have no insight into.
They're behind the gate to end the day. It's post time.
Reminds me of the old call that like 2008 Cubs.
Into the gate first.
Game's about to start. They're announcing, you know, who the pitcher is, and then the announcer screws up and says that the catcher, who was Henry Blanco, was behind the mound instead of behind the plate.
Yeah. All right. Good luck, Bluegrass man. Scott, I don't know when the hurricanes are coming, but I live in the evacuation zone, so I'm all good.
Wowie.
Yeah, so I just played this try. We'll see if it.
Splendid one. Doubles it. Oh. 2 out. Tongue twister.
I think Bossy Jeans can rate a little bit the one when I looked at it a little closer.
Saving memories. Is it?
Gonna have to get a good trip.
And they're off. Bossy Jeans breaks well. So does the Splendid One, and Sendera's in that early mix. Those three towards that first turn together. There are going to be 5 across the course here. Looking for a spot is going to be Tongue Twister, is hung out there 4 wide. 5 wide there is Saving Memories as they're tightly bunched into that turn. Bossy Jeans sees his command. It's Bossy Jeans who's up by a half length. Sendera is tracking right there in second. The Splendid One has worked over to the rail, is saving ground to the inside in third. To the outside is Tongue Twister, who's now a challenging third. From that 4th spot with Saving Memories back to 5th. And behind them, at the rail is Troubled Luck, who's in the 6th position, is followed by Malibu's Dynamite, splitting rivals. Then comes Devil's Arrow. The 2 at the back, Lucky and Gorgeous, and do Bowie Wowie. They work up the back stretch, and they went 23 and 3 for the opening quarter mile.
The 3's not running like an idiot right now.
Bossy Jeans has the lead.
I love it, man.
Bouncing 3 wide. Here comes.
You're seeing a good trip for Lascano, you know.
At the rail comes Splendid One. Trim McCarthy patiently ridden here from the 4th spot, less than a half mile to go. 48 seconds flat for the half mile time. Trying to run on his Malibu.
Flavian gonna try to just save ground. The 8s, I don't know what they're doing, but one's running easy. Here comes the 7.
Quickly as they approach a quarter mile left to go.
But the ones just might be gone. Got easy lead and
trying to take them all the way. A host of pursuers. Here comes the run from Tongue Twister is out in the center of the course. Saving Memories is trying to rally on. To Bowie Wowie is stalling now just a touch as Bossy Jeans is.
There's the Flavian Prep, but probably gonna run second.
And Gorgeous from far out of it, but Bossy Jeans has 2 comfortable of a margin. It's going to be Bossy Jeans to win the finale. Bossy Jeans.
I'll take that try.
Rally from
167.
Yeah.
There you go. Good job.
All right, guys. I think that'll put a wrap on it for this 4th of July edition of the Stretch Run. We will be back on Saturday, which is after tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. I screwed that up for the whole show. So after tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, we'll have the Indiana Derby on that day, and a lot of races from there, as well as across the country. So thanks, folks, for joining. Happy Independence Day. I'm glad you all could join us for today. We will see you on Saturday.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a good 4th. Happy 4th.